Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix, the show that gives you runs with bullets. First-person shooters, third-person shooters, shmups, bullet hells, lasers, rockets, grenades, paintballs, and shotgun shells. It's got bullets in it. It's got a home here at Crosshair. My name is Dangerous. I'm your host. And if you've got a run that you think qualifies for Crosshair, head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and fill out the run submission form. Who knows? You may end up on a future episode of this show. Before we get into anything related to today's show, I do need to let you all know that GDQ 2025 is just a little over 2 weeks from now, and it's going to be live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to the 12th. You can head on over to gamesdonequick.com and check out the schedule and let us know what runs you're excited to see from that event. Personally, Van Helsing and Crazy Taxi. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw those out there. Anyways, let's talk about the show today. It is December 18th. Christmas is 1 week away, and it just wouldn't be Christmas without spontaneous human combustion in a New York City opera house. Who wrote this script? Sorry, Parasite Eve is on the docket for today, and we have got the man himself, Morningcraft, here to show us 6 days in New York City. Morningcraft, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to play one of my favorite games in speedruns.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
All right. Thank you for that intro, Dane. This is a Christmas classic speedrun that I love to do, and I'm excited to showcase to you guys all. I'm joined here with Showtime and Dill for a commentary, and this is a long game, so I'm ready to just start very soon, and we can get this going.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
So long, it's 6 days.
It's 6 days long, yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right, someone want to count me down?
I'll go ahead and count you down from 5. All right, so Christmas time, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
Good luck.
All right. Yeah, so Parasite Eve, a game that I fondly remember. I actually had this game as a kid when it came out, and boy, when I was really young. The game came out like after Final Fantasy VII and before Final Fantasy VIII, so it's got a lot of JRPG mechanics to it. But what I loved about it the most was the fact that it was kind of a blend of Resident Evil, which is another game I liked, and of course Final Fantasy games. So it's a nice hybrid JRPG or speedrun, and it takes place in Christmas, so it gives you a great excuse to play it during the Christmas time.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, my name is Showtime. I actually run this game. I've been running it on and off for about 2 to 3 years now. It's been about a year since I last ran this, but I'm looking forward to this run. My first experience with this game was back when it first came out. I was like 13 years old, I think, or probably even younger, but I fell in love with Final Fantasy VII, and I just got hooked to Squaresoft and decided, hey, here's another game that looks like Final Fantasy VII, made by the same people. Let's give it a go. And one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I think I saw that Square logo too, and that's what made me get it. I was like, oh, I like another game that's made by them. All right, so this is the main character that we're gonna be playing as, Aya Brea. We don't have to shorten her name or anything because text boxes occur instantly.
Yep, indeed. And then here, you just kind of just mash and press start as fast as you can there for the naming. So a lot of the times you'll see Aya,
So the first thing I did there was equip the club. We're not going to be using the starter pistol right away. The main reason is that we only have 12 bullets, and we need to conserve ammo for later bosses in day 1. But also the club actually does a surprising amount of damage. I think the DPS is technically higher. It does a little bit less damage per turn, but your ATB recharges quicker.
Yeah, it's the ATB going fast. Yeah. That's the main reason why we use it.
So yeah,
good old ATB system.
Mm-hmm. Just a normal play going on here. Surely nothing weird's gonna happen. We're just gonna enjoy this nice play here.
That's right. Brought to you by Squaresoft.
Yeah. Fun fact: this is actually SquareSoft's first mature rating game. So, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And it was co-developed by both the Japan team and the American team. So, I think they wanted that, influence with New York City and all that with the development.
Yeah, it has I love the graphics for this game. Like, I'm very nostalgic for it. Like, it looks a lot like Final Fantasy VIII, like in terms of like the characters. And stuff,
that's because this was actually a game that was testing out the engine that they made, the game engine that they made for Final Fantasy VIII and later games. So this wasn't like meant to be it ended up being a commercial success because it got greatest hits and it spawned a sequel. But it's a licensed game because this story is based off of a book written by a Japanese author, and the events of this game take place after the events of the book. But yeah, it's a licensed game, and I think they really just wanted to showcase what they can do with FMVs because, as you can see, the FMV quality has jumped a lot too since Final Fantasy VII and other games, and test out the new game engine.
By the way, he's on fire.
Don't worry, it's just part of the play. It's just part of the play.
Now it's Christmas
Oh yeah.
with people just being randomly lit on fire.
Is it hot in here or is it just me? But yeah, the book was like the original thing, and then there was a movie on it, and then the game actually it is tied to the book. But it's very loosely tied. It's not like the game actually isn't like a direct sequel, but it's close enough. And if you use your imagination, and a little bit of copium, it all works out.
Yeah, I believe Aya is a Square, made character. She's not in the book, right?
It's from what I remember, it's her mom that's in the book.
Gotcha.
Earlier you were like, oh, this game spawned a sequel, and I wanted to counteract with, no. This game spawned 2 sequels.
That's right.
But we don't talk about
sure
the other
did.
one.
Right, I was gonna say a lot of people try to just disregard that one, pretend it doesn't exist, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people know, but there is a third Aya Brea game. It's called The Third Birthday for the PSP.
Yeah, and basically after this the sequel Parasite Eve 2, it was just not very successful and people didn't like it. So basically they just lost the rights to the game. So they had to call it something else that wasn't Parasite Eve, which is why it's called Third Birthday.
Yep. All right, so we're here. This is the Eve 1 fight. Pretty easy fight. Her lasers are super easy to dodge. We want to get 2 crits. Unfortunately, that's not a crit. If we get 2 crits, we defeat her in 5 turns. If we don't get 2 crits, it takes 6 turns. So that's unfortunate. So it's a 6-turn fight.
Yeah, and so a lot of this game, like going fast, is all about the damage that you do. And the nature of the game is just pretty much just about building up your DPS as soon as possible and just as high as possible. So, and getting crits ties into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, surprising. Crits are not like super uncommon in this game. I would say like
so
1 out of every 3 or 4 hits is
gonna
usually a crit, something like that. It's not like other games where it's like a 5%, 1% chance. Crits are actually very common in this game. So that's a little unfortunate. I didn't get a 5 cycle. And the speed of which fights finish is usually dictated on how many cycles it is, So like that fight technically can be a 4 cycle if you get 4 crits in a row, which is really rare. But for me speedrunning, I want 5.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's rare, but when you get it, it feels
does
so
feel good.
And yeah, I actually know runners, and I don't know if you do this, MC, but I know runners that reset if they don't get a good Eve 1.
I don't know. I think I would at least wait for the rat fight.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. Yeah, I don't really reset on Eve 1, but yeah. I can see why some people do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Eve 1. I don't think I ever do that because you have Eve 2. Eve 2 can fluctuate a lot more. So like if you get a really good Eve 2, you can justify a run, I think. But
yeah, absolutely. And then here's the rat fight. the strategy. Oh, this is mitochondria in action.
Mitochondria in action, everybody. This is what they don't teach you in biology.
Nope. Nope. They only teach you it's the powerhouse of the cell.
This rat fight is actually a little different than the rats we fight later. This one actually has more health. So you can defeat it in 2 regular hits, but if you crit, you kill it in 1. So I'm hoping for a crit.
You know, someone tried to say that this wasn't a horror game, but like, look at it.
I know.
It's a monster.
This was terrifying back in the day. No crit, darn.
I mean, like, how many scary games or horror games has Squaresoft even tried doing? Like, if you think about it.
I can only think of this series, but...
Yeah, as of right now, that's all I can think of. Excuse me. But yeah, that rat fight, you can get a crit on that and just end that in 1 turn. Or the standard, though, is just, you know, two hits with the baton. But a lot of times that rat likes to troll and just runs away.
He likes to sometimes juke you. It's really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
This is Carnegie Hall. This is the first dungeon. We're just doing the bare minimum here, and it's really simple. You just go in that top room that I went into. That gives you a key into this room. And then we read this diary. This diary is explaining the singer, her life, Melissa Pierce. And it kind of talks about how she was starting to feel ill, and that's because, you know, she's got the Eve mitochondria in her that was been kind of manifesting, and it finally sparked when she kind of locked eyes with Aya. Their mitochondria kind of interacted.
Yeah. And it all started in Africa. Like a woman in Africa got basically the Eve virus, and it gets passed down by generations to like their daughters and then their daughters and so on and so forth. And it all led down to eventually Melissa here. And so, which is why we call her Eve, is because now she's Eve. She's finally dreaming.
Yep, this is her Eve form now. We'll see this a lot.
So this fight controls, so
yep,
good luck. You can play it safe, but yeah, she could still be a troll.
Yep. Basically, the idea is we want to get 2 hits every time she does her laser move. So we hit her once while she's doing the laser, and then we try to hit her again. And then we wait for her to do another laser.
Yep, I've noticed that, like, yeah, if you just try to go brute force YOLO on her, then she'll try to swing at you more. All right, good job.
That was a little
That
scary.
fight
I
could
could
be-
have technically died.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to heal or not, because she could easily overcome
Yes.
you there.
Enemies have kind of like 3 damage rolls they do. They kind of have their base damage, and then they can crit you for 2 times that damage, or they can crit you for 3 times that damage. And so her scratch move, which she only does her swipe move if you are near her when her ATB fills up, but it does 9 base damage. So if she triple crits you, it's 27 damage, and we only have 45 health, so it's actually a big deal.
Yeah, so this is a very common theme. And fortunately, throughout the run, there are revives that you can pick up. In the main run, like if you're just like grinding for a PB, you're pretty much just only going to be picking up 2 tops. However, there are 5 total that you can get. There's actually 2 revives that you can get if you go upstairs in the next few rooms. You go up and there's like a rat fight that they drop 2 revives, so you can grab that for day 1. The other revive is in Central Park, and then there's a 4th one is in Soho, and then the last one is in the museum. So, but we usually only pick up 1 to 2, which is the one in Central Park and then the one in Soho. Those are the two ones we only care about.
That is the most terrifying frog I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, and they're pretty scary too because they can really hit you.
Yeah, they can do up to
hard,
24
like 20.
damage.
So picking up the M19 there, that's going to be the gun that MC is going to be using for the rest of day one.
Yep. Now we're going to switch to the gun soon. First, we're going to pick up these offense upgrades. This greatly speeds up the alligator fight, but also increases your damage throughout the rest of the... Oh, that was +2. Nice.
Offense 2, let's go.
So it's about like a 20% chance to get offense +2 and an 80% chance to just get offense +1.
Yep. And then going back to what I was saying about DPS. So yeah, you get offenses in chests throughout the run. It's very important to increase your attack power. And yeah, you get that chance to get an offense too, to be able to bring it higher. And what MC's doing right there is he just did something called the frog skip. And what that does is you can actually get into a fight with 2 frogs there. But if you go with like this very specific path, you can actually dodge that fight altogether. You don't need it, and it just wastes time. So
I played it. I get made fun of because I play it very safe by doing that walk towards it, and I get some flack for it. But you can just run it, but you have to be somewhat precise. It's not like frame perfect or anything, but you have to be a little precise. And if you mess it up, though, you get a fight. And if you get a fight, it's like what 20 seconds long, so you kind of reset.
Yeah, it's like it's about 20 seconds. Like the frog takes like 4 shots of the bullet each.
Yeah.
Without crits.
Yeah. So the safe thing is that you can just walk in. It's like 100% safe to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's. I think it's great that there's at least like a safe strat.
Yeah. I think I even did that in my PV. I'm not sure though. I know I do it way more often than YOLO it.
Yeah, YOLOing it's you have to like go like the far left corner of it. But
yeah,
here comes Gator. Gator is Monka S. In his second phase, he can actually crit for 37 damage. And MC's health right now is like what 53.
53, yeah.
So phase 1 can knock you down below 37. So you have to be real careful.
Yep.
So he's just gonna go left here. He's gonna bait the attack, and now go behind and shoot 3 times to the tail. You want to hope to not get any crits when you do this. You want it to just be all 9s. You just want to see 9s.
Yep. One of the few fights that we don't want crits.
Yep.
How come?
That's a good question.
So if you get crits, it ends the fight early, and what it does is it throws off your ammo count, so you have to reload during the fight on phase 2.
Yeah, there's a mechanic in this game where if Aya starts a turn with 0 bullets, the game will just automatically reload for her and skips the animation. So if you kill the tail phase early, your bullet count is off, and so the cycles will cause her to reload. And nice, we got enough crits.
That is very interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do get crits, if you get 2 crits, then you have to shoot the head, then the tail again to balance it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, GG.
Nice.
GG, that's day 1.
Clean on day 1. Eve 2 was a little scary, but that was it.
Yeah. Well, I would say, my personal opinion, day 1 is probably the most Monka.
Day 1 is scary.
So.
You just, you get a lot more comfortable once you get revived, you know? Then it's like, okay, revives are get out of jail free cards, essentially, you know? Revive is an item that it's automatically consumed when you fall below 0 HP, and it gives you 50% HP. So it's a revive. It's like a Phoenix Down, I guess, but it's automatically used.
Yep. There is a magic spell that you could use, but we don't. But we don't use that.
Yep. So yeah, that is day 1. We just have a little bit of cutscene here.
Yep. So get used to it, guys. You know,
it is a JRPG, so there, you know, there's story, cutscene, dialogues.
Yep. So good time to listen to the mash, mash, mash. You know, maybe get some chips, some dip, sandwich, all that jazz. But it is kind of good in a sense, like where it just gives you like a little bit of a break if you need it. But I know MC loves to talk about the turbo brakes.
Yeah. So actually, we can talk about the consoles that are played on here. You can play Parasite Eve on. You can play the original disc version, which is actually what I started playing on. I play because as you can see behind me, I collect games and I love playing games on their original version. So you can speedrun the disc version. It's its own category in speedrun.com. But the most popular way to speedrun it is the PlayStation Network digital version, which you can play on a PSP, PSTV, or a PS3. But the PSTV and the PSP are substantially faster than the PS3, I was told.
PS3 is actually like the worst.
Yeah, which is funny because that was the first version I had. Because when I got into this game, I was like, oh, I already have the PS3. You know, I have the. I was like, oh, and then I was told it's the slowest. I was like, oh, darn. So I went and got a PSTV. Yep. But I like the PSTV. It's really cool. Because
PS3 doesn't have fastest speed like PSP and PSTV.
Oh, PS2. Okay.
Yeah, so you like not. PS3 disc-based stuff is like way slower than PS2, and then also digital PSN games. Like if a game's optimal on PSTV for a PS1 speedrun, PS3 is always going to be slower. Like I don't think there's any PS1 speedruns that are optimal on PS3.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know the black sheep of the like speedrun platform family.
Yeah. I've actually got a funny story about the PSTV version of this game. I was watching somebody do a run of this the other day, and he was running it on the PSTV, and he went to switch discs, and I guess the settings...
it's right below power off.
It's right below power off, and he went to hit down on the D-pad, and it didn't go down, and he powered the console off mid-run. Kill the run in one of the silliest ways possible.
Big oof.
I've heard of that horror story. It's never happened to me, but I've heard of it happening.
Yeah, just make sure your down button actually keeps working.
I will.
I've seen it in action. It sucks.
You've seen it.
I haven't done it before, but I've seen a runner do it. That happened to them before, and yeah. Luckily, the run was kind of not that great. So
sure. Opium.
Exactly.
There is a question in chat actually related to the run. Because I guess somebody had run this game when it was close to like 4 hours, and now it's down to like just a little over 2.5. Have there been like major changes to the route since like in the last few years, or like how did you end up cutting an hour out of the run?
Or go ahead.
I was gonna say this game really hasn't there's no skips or anything. There's, as far as I know, like that. I guess that frog skip is like the biggest skip in the game, right? But
the frogs.
There's no major skip. So I guess it just comes down to route. I'm kind of new in the speedrun community of this, so maybe show.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking 4 hours, my guess is that this was probably like way back during like the when people were just running it on PS1, most likely, or just like console in general. Because once like the PSP was discovered, that was just like what everybody ran before discovering the PSTV. But from my knowledge of this, Primus, he's like one of the older runners of this game. He wrote a guide that's actually on speedrun.com.
I use that one.
It's like everybody uses that when they first start this out. It's really great. Now, if you guys are curious about like new things that have been developed, pretty much. So what we did like over the past 3 or 4 years total, of all the main runners, like we took what Primus wrote and just like optimized on it and added to it. So a lot of just like adding in faster like ways of doing DPS and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of research and just digging real deep into it and just finding little micro time saves here and there, sort of thing.
That is really cool that you can cut a whole hour out of the game just by optimizing your route and not even major skips, just literally draw this line straighter and things like that. That's actually pretty wild.
Yeah. Someone in chat just mentioned a point I was going to make is that there was a change in the timing. It used to
yes,
which I wasn't around when, but I guess they used to time it until all the credits were done too, but not anymore.
Yep, I was actually going to bring that up. Yeah, so that's also another big chunk of time save as well. Yeah, you used to be required, like way back in the day. This is actually before my time. Yeah, you used to be required to keep the timer going all the way to where you save your game for the IGT, and that's basically where you would split, and you would so that way they can compare the IGT to the RTA.
All right, lore-wise, we just had like a press conference where Aya mentioned something about Eve, mitochondria, that's kind of stuff, which her chief said not to do it because it's just going to raise hysteria, but she did it anyways during that conference, and so everyone's kind of freaking out.
Yep.
Now we're on our way to the museum to kind of... We're meeting a scientist named Professor Clamp, and we're hoping to get some information about what exactly is going on. Why are people just being set on fire randomly?
Yes, mitochondria, might I add.
Yes. The answer to this, if you have a question about this game, 90% of the time the answer is just mitochondria. Just
exactly. Yeah, like the mitochondria enacted on all of us speedrunners, and that's how we saved like all those hours. One of my favorite NPCs is this janitor guy.
Dude, look how big his flashlight is. It's huge. And the lights are on. It doesn't make sense.
Right? Yeah. Museum is probably like my favorite location in this game. I just really love it. It gives me great nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mine is the hospital. I like the hospital.
Hospital's cool, yeah.
The only reason why, I mean, museum is really cool, but it reminds me of when I played this game casually. I got so stuck in the museum. I was going in circles trying to figure out where to go because it's a maze if you're playing this game casually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, museum is definitely the hardest to navigate. It's pretty much designed like a labyrinth. But yeah, so what MC is going to do now, he's going to set up for something later that we do for Clamp.
Oh, the big skip.
Oh, right. There is one skip we forgot about. We forgot to mention.
Yeah, we'll see that big skip in day 3.
Yep. But yeah, I've always liked this room, this science lab room. I wish I knew like what time it was, during the day, like exactly. I'm gonna guess 4 p.m.
Something like that. Yeah.
It looks like 4 p.m.
Oh, somebody said that his computer monitor is an old version of Photoshop. I don't know if that's true because I don't know what that looks like, but somebody was like, that looks like that's an old version of Photoshop right there.
I feel like I've actually heard somebody say that before. Mash.
Yeah, just mashing here. I actually double thumb mash, but that's a little loud sometimes, so I decided not to do that.
Yeah. So, as you can see, Clamp gives us the cold shoulder while we're trying to get more info. So, Daniel's upset now, and he's driving angrily fast.
Yep.
All the way back.
He's driving really fast, by the way. Like, Jesus, those buildings are going by fast.
Exactly. Yeah. Could we acknowledge that real quick?
Is this Star Wars?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Light speed.
So, from what I understand, like the devs thought, like they're from Japan, so like they're not really from New York or whatever. So they thought that like because it was Christmas time, there's not very much people on the street. So I guess that's.
So clearly he's going to drive 200 miles an hour on New York City streets.
Yeah, we all love it though.
We have one more little short press conference here, and then I got to do a menu. So upgrading in this game, we use tools that we find throughout the run, and what the tool does is it trashes a gun and it transfers the bonus stats to another gun. So I'm going to be picking up various guns, but we're not going to be using those guns. They're just for tooling purposes mostly. And so in this menu coming up, I'm going to tool the M19 that we were using at the end of day 1 to the new gun that we got from Wayne, which is the M16 rifle.
Yep. And a big deterrent that a lot of people had when this game first came out was they didn't really know how to use the tools properly. So there you go.
Yep. So we
fastest late.
We tooled the gun to the new gun, and we also got a drop from the alligator fight, an armor drop. So I equipped that drop.
Yeah, and it's very, very important. Like, MC makes this look really easy, but it's very important that you don't, that you don't miss tool, because you could just end up losing the wrong gun. Like, you could transfer the stats to the wrong gun, and then you lose the gun, and it just turns into a nightmare. Tooling
is one direction, so you're trashing one gun, like it's destroyed, to give more bonus stats to another gun. So if you accidentally do it in the wrong direction, you end up with the gun that you're not supposed to have. And yeah, I've killed the run. I actually killed the run not too long ago because I did it wrong.
Yeah. Now, if you're going for PB, but like there are ways to come back. It's just going to be slower. So like if as long as like you tool all the stats, like you know, the attack power and whatnot to like to the wrong gun, you can still use that gun until your next gun pickup, right?
Yeah.
So. And then just transfer those stats and kind of recover that way, but you're going to lose time. So if you're going for PB attempts, you might as well just reset at that point.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do, honestly. If it happens, I never continue to run. I just like, oh, okay, well, power off.
Well, the most common thing that happens, I think, to a lot of runners that's not really using the tool, but it's similar. It's like using the offenses on the wrong, like the very first gun in the game in day 1. You can when you just kind of deal with the lower damage until you get to the point where you got to tool that gun to the M16, because those offense ones will carry over in day 2.
Yep. So we have quite a few fights in the Central Park. We're in Central Park, by the way, and we have a lot of fights. So we're hoping that a lot of fights we get fast number of cycles. Like this can be a 2-cycle fight if we get 1 crit on this red snake. And there we go. We got 1 crit. Nice. So it's a 2-cycle. You're gonna see that a lot in the fights. Like we can save a cycle if we get, you know, X number of crits, or, you know, we crit at the right time.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't need to crit because I got the offense +2. That's right.
Yeah, and if you got 2 offense 2s when you get to the crow fight up here, you should be able to just like kill them. With 1 crit each.
Oh, really?
Actually.
Yeah, that's really rare. I don't think I've ever had double offense 2s, but
it's been a while since I ran this, so it's either this one or it's like the one with the.
I think it's the one with the monkey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I meant. Never mind. Yeah.
So this is always a 2-turn fight. This screen is really kind of weird. Like you don't want to. So in general, when we're finishing up fights. You want to position. Oh my gosh, that was double missing. Wow. Usually they give you junk.
That is so rare.
That is really rare. In general, during fights, as you try to finish a fight, you want to put Aya's character in the, you know, towards the direction that you're traveling after the fight, you know. But for whatever reason, that fight before, if you put Aya's character model too high up, the game will like fade out and fade back in. And it causes you like a second or 2. All right, our favorite tool, our favorite chest coming up.
Let's go. Oh yes. All right. Let's not get that scam mode.
Yes. Oh my God, we got scam mode.
Oh no. So that's like a 20% chance, if I remember correctly, to get the ammo, and then an 80% chance to get like the tool. And if you get the ammo, what that does is now MC has less damage for this fight and fights moving forward. So yeah, he's gonna be at a detriment here with damage. And like I said, DPS is the name of the game, so the lower your damage, the slower you're gonna go.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but hey, you have a chance. He's got a shot at the YOLO
That's true.
still.
Yeah, that chest is an 80% chance of tool, which is what we want. We don't want the ammo.
Ammo is important, but we don't need that ammo.
We want the tool, definitely.
So if you do end up getting the ammo, which he did, there's two options. You can get the YOLO tool near the end of Central Park, or you can get the jail tool in the NYPD later on day 3. It compensates for that loss of the tool here.
Yeah, and I will just do that if I don't get the YOLO tool.
Yeah.
So I'm quickly just accepting the ammo drops. Birds typically just drop junk. We don't want junk. It's quite literally junk as far as speedrun goes. It just takes up space. You have limited inventory space.
Yeah, junk is really only needed if you're doing like Chrysler building, like on New Game Plus. Otherwise, it's just, like MC said, it's just junk otherwise.
All right. So we're entering the our second performance in the game. Oh, whoops.
Can I just mention real quick the OST for this game?
Oh yeah.
I love this song, by the way, the one that was just playing.
What's this one called? Is it called Missing Perspective?
I don't know the names of them, but it sounds
yeah, I think this is like the most iconic song people think of, remember. It's like, oh, that when you're in Central Park, like that's just...
Yep. Oh no!
Oh, everyone is just liquefying. So Eve is striking again.
Yeah, so she's here to put on a concert for everybody, and of course, everybody's like, "Oh, you know what? Who cares what happened? At the Opera House? Let's go check this out. Maybe it won't happen. Something won't happen."
And it happened.
And same person and everything. Goop.
Chat is commiserating. Ew. And I agree.
Yeah, it's
chat.
pretty. Yeah, it's one of those. It is one of those games where it's like people tend to forget, like, actually how graphic this game is.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I love this game for it's kind of like a they're going for like a cop drama sort of situation. I always like to compare this to Lethal Weapon, and from what I understand, like the developers of this game were going for that as well.
Really?
Like they just really they just really liked like Lethal Weapon and stuff. So you'll see a lot of similarities. And then like the music here just reminds me of like cop drama.
That chest I just picked up, that was our first revive. So now we have a revive. So if I ever do get into trouble and an enemy or boss wipes me, I will respawn back on the playing field or battlefield. But I don't want to have to rely on that. I really want to make sure that is only just an emergency. So I will still play it very safely, not take super big risks. I don't know why. I was in BP. I thought I was in tune-up.
Yeah, it happens. BP. So basically, BP is actually another component to raise your DPS. You get bonus points every time that you level up, and the amount of bonus points that you get is based on how much damage that you take in the fights. So like from one level to another, if you get hit a whole lot, you're gonna have less bonus points than if you were to do a lot more dodges. So that actually, as a result, encourages good battles, like good performance battles, to not get hit. So if you can just like, the more you can avoid damage in fights, the better. But from what I understand, from what I've heard from other runners, is that taking contact damage doesn't affect BP, so you can take contact damage all day. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a medicine for safety. That bird fight is actually probably the most annoying fight in day 2. Honestly, they can sometimes just randomly fly out of your range. By the way, if an enemy goes outside of your range of your gun, you do like either very little damage or you miss. It's not like you just do a small. It's literally like you do only 10% damage or you miss. It's bad.
Yep. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into this. And if you're just like watching it, you may not realize or pick it up, but if you ever become a runner of this, it's very, very complicated and nuanced strats.
Oh, this bear is being annoying. Wow. That was a little annoying. The bear was walking away from where I want to go. I want to go left.
Pretty sure that was a crit.
A lot of these fights have been starting with bad ATB, and bad ATB is not only slow, but it lines up perfectly with when the enemy's going to attack as you're attacking, so it's actually really annoying. Like, I have bad ATB here. That's good.
Okay, we got the crit. Good stuff, good stuff.
Hopefully good.
Oh man, he
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. So yeah, on the ATB really is very important. And on that fight for the monkeys, in order to kill them in one turn, you got to get one crit in there.
All right, YOLO tool. I believe. Nope, never.
Too bad.
That box is like it's a very small chance of being a tool, which the route doesn't expect you to get that tool, but if you do get a tool in that chest, it's nice.
Yep. So yeah, if you get the tool in the chest, then you end up tooling over a gun in Soho that you would usually wait till the police station to do on day 3, and then you would also pick up Shiva's gun later to use that extra tool.
Crits will one-shot the birds at this point, but we didn't get any, so.
And if he would have gotten the tool and not the ammo, he would have been doing 40 damage here on the crows. Yeah. So you can tell that he was hitting 39 on that crit, so you can tell that he didn't get it.
All right, worms.
So that's kind of
one of the most RNG bosses in the game here. And we're going to underdamage because of no tool. That ATB too.
So he's first going to go over to the right here, and if you have good ATB, you can just you can get him as he comes up and get 2 shots off. But then you go into the position that he's in right now, it's like the best place to avoid damage on that hit right there. But the goal, what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to eliminate the worm on the right and then the worm in the center only. Those are the only 2 worms that he's going to be focusing on. And once he gets rid of them, then it goes into the next phase after that, and then there'll be 2 worms, one in the middle, one on the left. And you kind of just go back and forth exchanging damage. So you'll see that in a second here once he gets. Okay, so what he's going to be focusing on right now, he's going to be spreading the damage between the guy on the right and then the worm on the left. And the reason for this is because there actually is a final form for the worm where he just goes super big. And they actually get a little bit more HP every time that it changes to the next phase. So when you spread the damage here, you really lower that damage for the final phase if you get to that. And also the most important part is you can kill both worms before it even goes to that final phase, so which is quicker.
By the way, we have the love formation.
Oh shoot.
This is terrible.
Which is like the worst. Yeah. So he's kind of have to play a little safe here. At least you're... Okay. It could be worse.
Yeah.
There, hey, see, there you go. There is an action. That's like that's a good fight. So he's putting this last bit of BP into attack, and after day 2, the focus turns into putting your or your bonus points into ATB for quite a while, actually. So, but yeah, good worms fight. A little monkey ass there, but you got the double kill, which is huge. So
yeah, that was actually pretty bad timing. You ideally want to see them alternate, like when one comes down, the other one comes up, because it lines up perfectly with when your ATB charges, so that you're doing more damage, you're doing more DPS because you're almost firing almost every time your ATB fills up. But those last two worms were kind of coming up around the same time, which means I can only get like 2 shots.
So yeah, that's basically the love formation. Is when they both come up. It looks like the shape of a heart, so we call it the love formation. When they both come up at the same time. But this is an Eve 3 fight. This fight can be kind of scary. But the goal for this fight is you want to bait her attacks to swing at you, so she doesn't fly up like this. Because when she flies up like this, it actually wastes time. So
we don't like her
if you shoot her a critter. No. So got through it. That's day 2. Good job. Let's go. So we're getting in there. Oh, absolutely great OST. Beat the goo.
When you hear the good part of the song during the FMV, you know that the Eve 3 fight was fast. That's always my cue. Like, okay, that was a good Eve 3, because you hear the really good part of that song. But unfortunately, we don't get to hear it for very long.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite tracks, the Eve fight tracks. But the Eve fights are just kind of fast in the speedrun, so you don't get to enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
So if we're at the end
reminds me of
I would say, if we're at the end of day 2, is this a good time to take a break, or do we want to push through day 3?
Yeah, we can take a break. I can either it's about 5 minutes of cutscene until it shows like start of day 3 screen, but we can start.
Yeah, we'll take the break as we start day 3. I think that's a good time.
Okay, so cool. Unfortunately we got like 5 minutes of cutscene here.
Gotcha. Sorry, Showtime, I totally cut you off earlier. Oh yeah, no worries. What I was gonna say was that fight, or the Eve 3 fight with MC was saying how he loves that song. They like with the woman like making the sounds, you know. It kind of reminds me of Sephiroth's theme from FF7, you know. Like how they use the voices like with the synthesizer.
Yeah.
The Squaresoft thing, I guess.
Yeah. So we just saw a little touching moment there. The reason why I went to the park is because Daniel found out that his son and his wife are at the park attending that concert that we just witnessed. And for some reason, the son decided to leave or whatever, and so he survived. So Daniel was very happy to see that he survived, but unfortunately, his wife did not.
Poor Lorraine.
Yes, rip.
She will not live to see another run.
No.
Oh, and that's Kathy. We don't like Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy's a bit of a meme in the PE community.
She's a faker.
She's a faker.
We'll talk about that a little later.
I was getting very like Claire, Sherry, and Chief Irons from that cutscene just now.
Exactly, like MC was saying at the beginning, it's like this has got some RE vibes to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's pretty cool. And then yeah, for it's like this is like RE and like Final Fantasy 7/8 like combined, right? Like kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So
it came out like almost exactly in the middle between those releases too.
Yeah, and then with a Squaresoft touch, right? Yep. Where the second Parasite Eve game just went all in. We're like, let's go Resident Evil clone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Personally, I like the game, but I like the first one better. I think they should have stuck with the same format.
Yeah, I think so too.
They had something going here that they could have built on.
Yeah. I feel like in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was kind of that surgence of developers making RE clone type games, and I don't know, I can't really name a good one, but unfortunately Parasite Eve 2 kind of went towards that route a little bit. But it was much better than some of the RE clones you've seen in other games. But
yeah, like what comes to mind is like Countdown Vampires, Martian Gothic. Those are some games like just that come to mind that were RE clones essentially. Overblood. I think it's got 3D cutscenes.
So does Code Veronica.
Or 3D environments, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, for Parasite Eve 2, apparently the guy that directed it was one of the writers of the original Resident Evil, which is why like it's so like similar to a Resident Evil game.
That does make sense.
Another thing to point out among the Parasite Eve runners is that you definitely get a mix of backgrounds. Like I'm most known for running Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 9. This was actually like my first or second / like horror game, even though I don't really consider it like a true horror game. I mainly look at it as a JRPG. But like you kind of came from speedrunning horror games, right?
So yeah. So my speedrunning origins actually is Resident Evil, like the classics. Way back when I was a kid, I used to try to get bring my IGT down as far as I could, and then obviously later in life saw that people were speedrunning and stuff, and I'm like, well, Resident Evil is kind of what I want to do. And so yeah, that's where I got started. But then it just like branched off to like other Capcom games, and then one thing led to another, and I started running this, and like even a little bit of FF7, not a whole lot, but yeah.
Yeah,
Clock Tower 3. That's a good one. I know you run that too.
Clock Tower 3, the greatest horror speedrun out there.
It's a good one.
It's a giant meme, but it's a fun mess.
Yeah, it's just a shame with Clock Tower 3 that you can't or that you have to skip the cutscenes in the speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
Because man, because I don't know if like Clock Tower 3 actually is pretty scary and like graphic if on a lot of the cutscenes. It's if you actually watch them.
Mm-hmm.
But
then you get like over the top nonsense stuff too. It reminds me of like an anime, like the way people are talking, and yeah, it's like a giant anime.
Absolutely.
All right, we are almost done with day 2. Like I said, oh, by the way, this is a pretty typical New York City apartment. You got your central heating, you got decorative green bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's like the house I lived in with my college roommates. Honestly.
That's funny.
All right, we can pause the timer right now.
Pause. Excellent timing. Cool.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, folks, I hope you're enjoying the run so far. We are going to take a quick break and just a quick little wellness check to make sure that we're all feeling good, that we're all keeping our energy and our spirits up. Before we head off to break, I do want to kind of add on a little bit to earlier when I talked about AGDQ 2025. If you head on over to gamesdonequick.com, you can check out the AGDQ 2025 important date section to learn a little bit more about the event. And if you're crafty, prize submissions are open until December 28th. So if you want to send in a prize, you have until December 28th to do that. Additionally, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, shows like Crosshair, Speedruns from the Crypt, which is coming up after this, and all the other shows that we show off here on GDQ Hotfix are supported by your subs and gift subs. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing. Welcome back to Crosshair. Before we jump back into the run, do want to let you all know that Back to Black 2025, the upgrade to UBAF, will be live February 6th through the 9th here on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. Catch the action and support an incredible cause. Type !BTB into chat to see the event schedule. And if you want to find out more about the All Black speedrunning community, type !BAF. With that, I think it's time to jump back into Parasite Eve. Whenever you are ready.
All right. Thank you. All right. On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Really like the beginning of day 3. Go on a little shopping spree.
Yep. So yeah, we're in the Soho area. We have some like brief cutscenes, but we're going to be visiting a gun shop where we pick up a lot of gun-related accessories and items. And then we have to stop at the pharmacy. We're going to also pick up some pharmacy stuff. The game makes you go to both before you can advance the story. But the gun shop particularly, there's a lot of good things. And day 3 is our introduction to submachine guns.
Indeed. And with submachine guns comes the great stat, which is called random.
Yep.
And yeah, Aya just that's a different kind of spree. She just loves going on the shooting spree with that one.
Yep. Submachine guns have they all have characteristics of random targeting. So now Aya is going to be randomly targeting, but they deal high damage. So we use it in speedrun, but unfortunately, we no longer can target enemies how we want. We have to hope that Aya hits the right enemies. And yep, more RNG.
Yep. And as we go along, we also want to lower the rate of fire as well, which increases damage with the lower rate. So we'll talk about that more later. So yeah, you're gonna pick up all these items here and grab this tool.
I'm just like, this is the scene that makes it qualify for Crosshair right here. It's just this
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
big bullet bonanza right here.
Yep.
Also, this music right now. So if he would have actually got both tools, he would have tooled over the G19 there.
Yeah.
But we all know how that went.
Yep. I will be picking up a tool later in start of day 4 to kind of back up the fact that I had we didn't get that one tool in the Central Park. So then at the start of day 4, I should be in familiar territory as far as upgrades.
Indeed. So he's picking up this is the second revive I was talking about that we get. We usually just get the first one, but we'll get the second one as like a backup. The other items in the shop are pretty good, but we don't get it.
Yeah. All right. This is the hardest boss of Soho right here. Nice, got it. That door is tricky sometimes to engage with it. Sometimes you just run around and rub against the. Oh my god, no!
Oh,
I was mashing too much.
It's up.
Right.
Just go down. Just go down.
Okay.
Down. Yeah, just go down. Oh shoot! I guess you can't with these two.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you'd have to go to the car.
Sorry, my bad. If you were to do that like on a different day, then you would.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All good. That's my mistake. I accidentally was mashing on the world map and came back to Soho, so that's a major time loss there if this was a real run. All right. So once we enter the museum here on the map here, it's like 5 or 6 minutes of cutscene here. So it's nothing but me pressing the X button. So we can actually talk more about submachine guns. So as I said, Aya's targeting is now random, and this can be a bad thing sometimes because we're going to be focusing on putting Aya's position in such a way that she has range of all enemies in the field. That way, whoever she decides to hit does full damage. However, sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes enemies slip out of your range, and if that happens and Aya decides to focus that particular enemy, it's pretty much a wasted turn. And there's also another thing that happens, interestingly enough, with random targeting. It's that she can still target an enemy that just died in the middle of the fight, but she won't fire. She'll just completely skip that bullet. And that can lead to a reduction of overall DPS for that turn. So, like, for example, like if you have 2 enemies, one's at full health and one is one hit from dying, and you fire your gun, if Aya focuses all like 7 bullets on that one enemy that's 1 hit away, she'll just kill that enemy and then nothing else. So it'll just be a 1 bullet turn. And it's really annoying when that happens.
Annoying is a good word for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, remember we were talking about a skip earlier in day 2?
Yep.
Well,
this is a big skip coming up. It's called Clamp Skip.
Yep.
They're later in the scene here, when Daniel looks at the computer monitor, he's going to start freaking out. And Clamp turns off the computer. But for some reason in this game, and I'm not sure if it's because you have to hit certain text boxes frame perfect, but you can skip that animation of Clamp turning off the computer, and that saves like it saves like up to 1 second. It's crazy. It's a big skip, you know.
Wow.
A lot of runs. You know, they sometimes get reset because of it, you know. But no, it's
a game changer.
It's a meme skip. It does save like 1 second, but I love to hype it up because there's nothing else to do in here but mash X. So the way we know we did it is if after Daniel grabs Clamp by the collar, if the computer monitor is still on, it means we got Clamp skip. But if we see Clamp turn off the computer, so the computer monitor is off, then we failed it.
Crossing my fingers.
It's not just like mashing. You have to like mash it like a weird like.
Yeah, this game like it'll drop like mash inputs if you mash too fast. So you kind of want to mash at like a certain rhythm to like optimally clear the text boxes.
Yeah, nobody really knows how to replicate it consistently though. But yeah, Mayetta nerding out here.
Yep.
Imagine if this was like what it was really like to look through like one of those scopes, you know, like doing some science.
Yeah. Also, day 3 is also an introduction to refights. You want to explain refights, Joe?
Yeah, so refights are fun. So the way that this game works is that so far whenever we get like for the speedrun at least, like we've been getting into scripted fights, which trigger no matter what, and if you try to run away from them, you're just gonna go right back into them. But with like refights, the way that works is, so day 3 we're gonna be basically, it's like whenever you backtrack. So we're gonna get into a scripted fight, we're gonna win that fight, but then we're gonna have to backtrack through that area again, and there's about a 50% chance like to be able to get into a fight right there again as well. And if that happens, you got to do the fight, and obviously it takes up time. So kind of, if you want to compare it to FF9 in a way, it's like the RNG of getting into a random battle, right?
Yeah, just time loss, and there's no way of us manipulating it, so it's just good RNG fun.
Yeah. So, and the thing is refights don't matter for experience points if you're wondering about that. At least not until day 5. When you're in the museum.
All refights before museum are just time loss because the experience is. Oh wait, we're coming up on clamp skip though. This is it.
Oh, here we go.
It's when Daniel looks at the computer and starts freaking out. We got it. We got clamp skip.
Oh!
We did it.
Let's go.
The computer monitor is still on.
We got it. Yep. So as a reminder, what MC was saying, if you see Clamp go into that frame that was just zoomed in there, if you see Clamp go into there, that means that we didn't get it. So, but we didn't see him go in there, so we saved that whopping second. But Clamp is still angry at us, and he doesn't want us here anymore.
He says,
so
leave.
Yeah, we got to get going.
We got to skedaddle.
Skedaddle.
All right, and we're going to enter the day 3 dungeon, which is a familiar place. It's the precinct.
This time we get a Maeda in the backseat while we're going lightning speed. So yeah, this is like really where day 3 starts technically.
Yeah.
With the fights and stuff. But so back to the refights. So day 3 and 4 has a total of 6 refights. The precinct here has 2 refights possible in the run that you can get into. Again, you just don't want to get into those fights because they just take up time. Experience doesn't matter. There's like the bonus points. You can run away from fights in this game, but you do have a chance of, hopping right back into that fight again. Although you can avoid it. So it's risky, but for the most part, we kind of just like to finish the fights out.
There's maybe only one refight in the game that's worth trying to run away from because your run chances are kind of low. So if you fail, you waste it. Perfect example of Aya just only focusing the bird there. As you can see, like she only focused the bird. No attacks on this guy. So this took 3 turns. Great fight.
Also, that fight's good because it drops an offense 1.
Yeah.
Which are very, very important.
Yeah, that fight is like almost always a 2 cycle fight, but that was actually really bad RNG that all of her bullets were focused on the bird, which dies, I think, in like 3 hits, 3 bullets. Unfortunate.
I personally feel this is like where the game gets a little bit easier battle-wise, but yeah, the refights don't help time-wise. It just sprays the enemies.
All right.
That chest on the left, you can pick it up for ammo.
Oh, so we got the first refight. It's a good start.
Yep. So all this is here is just a waste of bullets and a waste of time.
Yep.
So we do not like that. We do not like it. I mean, I guess you could get like medicine drops, but it's just like you don't need them.
I mean, we get to see bullets, and this is Crosshair, so it makes sense,
Yeah.
I'll tie it into the theme however I can.
Yep. This is Kathy. She's clearly not injured. She's clearly just faking it. There's no blood or anything around her.
Yeah, she's
this is the kennel room, so this is where we learned that the dog escaped. And my theory is that she just got gently bumped by the dog as it escaped, and she's just faking it. Probably should have healed.
Yeah, because actually you see her after all these shenanigans, you see her alive and well, no problems. So yeah, she's just full of it.
Man, this is a very, very less than ideal run RNG wise so far. This is kind of funny, but
yeah, not getting that tool in the park is a big one.
All right, so we have to traverse to this screen again that we got that last fight. So this is the second refight screen. So, you know, on average, it's about 50-50. So usually you get like 1 out of 2 refights in this precinct. And we got 1 and 2, that's good. So no refight there.
Yep, perfect. All right, so what we're doing now, this is actually a big thing in the speedrun. He just picked up the CM Vest 2, and this is going to be the new armor that we're pretty much going to use for like the rest of the run.
Chief Iron's just lying there.
Actually, if you talk to him, he gives you ammo.
Oh, he does.
But we don't need any of that though. Or is it the police guy? I think it's the cop that gives you ammo. I forget. But I think he gives you ammo. One of them give you ammo. But anyways, the CM Vest 2. So what that does is now we have this thing that's introduced into the run now where your medicines can heal you in battle automatically once your HP lowers below a certain threshold. I don't know the exact percentage.
It's like 20 or 25%, something like that.
Something like that. When it gets real low, a med in your inventory will just pop. So this is firefight. You want to, yeah, there you go. You want to bait them to shoot the webs and then just clean house here. This fight can be very tricky, but it looks like he's handling it pretty well here.
Oh, that one got it right out of range. That sucks.
I jinxed it. Oh, he's going for another spider web, but you got him.
Oh, few rams.
But yeah, for the rest of the run now, you're gonna start seeing like Aya like just randomly get healed. So if you're wondering what's happening there, a med from your inventory is getting used, and the way that it gets used is it uses the most powerful ones first. So if you have like med 3, med 2, and med 1 in your inventory, when we say proc, when it procs it's going to do the med 3.
Yeah, prioritizes your strongest medicines in your inventory first.
Yeah, and it's a blessing and it's a curse because, for instance, like let's say something stupid happens and you get a little hit at the end of a fight and it pops a med 4, right? You didn't need to. Mm-hmm. You could have just healed yourself after the fight, but now you just lost a med 4. Yeah. So it could work for you, it could work against you. For the most part, it works for you.
I love how you're just so casually talking while we're seeing a monster develop on screen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a monster here.
Yep, that's Shiva.
Sorry, I've seen that cutscene a million times. It's just desensitized.
I wonder what the boss of this dungeon is going to be. I don't know.
It's a mystery.
Oh geez,
Ah, that's annoying.
So if he gets hit again, it's gonna proc. Okay. So yeah, you don't want it to proc to heal you, but yeah, because it just wastes some med. Yep. So we're coming up to the last fight here before Shiva.
No, this RNG with the targeting has been atrocious. Look at that. They keep escaping with 1 health or 1 shot away. Oh my god. I'm just all over the place.
I mean, as somebody who doesn't know the run, your menuing looks pristine to me, but
yeah, there's. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I just I'm being a little careful because I didn't get that tool drop, so things are gonna kind of happen in different input order. So I'm being very careful not to do something silly.
All right, so here's the Shiva fight. You kind of just there's like three ways to go about this fight. You can either just YOLO it, which you just kind of just take all the damage that's possible, or you can shoot and go, which right there was a shoot and go sort of situation, or you could do something called the barrier strat. The barrier strat is you basically use oh, he's going to use it right now. So what that's going to do is now that triggers Shiva to use three of those AoE attacks here. And what that's effectively doing is, you see, it's doing 0 damage to you all 3 times. It prevents her from healing, and yeah, it just gives you time to DPS.
Should be dead here. No, okay. I was gonna say.
So good fight, good fight.
Yeah. She didn't do the move that we don't want to see. She can like do a lick and heal one of the heads for 100, which is what we don't want to see because that just prolongs the fight. And that's one nice thing about the barrier strat. Not only is it safe, but it guarantees that the boss does the shockwave move like 3 times, which is not the lick move, which is good.
Yeah, so you don't want her to heal. It just prolongs the fight. But yeah, there's a lot of menuing in this game, so it could make your head spin after a while. There's like different types of menus. There's like the main menus, like where you do the tooling, and then there's like what we call snap menus, which is like kind of like whenever you feel the need to, you just open up your menu, you heal, and you reload.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, menus in this game are fast, like because the menu opens up immediately. It's not like other RPGs or something where it takes like a second or two.
Yeah, so it's really nice. And you also, whenever you level up, you want to check your beat, or yeah, you might want to check your BP, and if you have 100, then you can distribute that point. So I like to use BP as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah, I kind of do that in the beginning, but then later in the museum, I kind of do it maybe once I get like at least 2 points worth. But yeah, I mean, if you can do it quickly, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy though, like how like 1 or 2 points of damage really make a huge difference. So, all right, we are going for the jail tool. So this is essentially the aftermath of getting the scammo in the park. That ammo 15 instead of the tool. You come here, you get the tool instead. So obviously it wastes some time having to come in here, but at least there's a backup.
Yeah.
On PB attempts, we pretty much just reset if you get the ammo in the park. But if you're just starting out with a run and you're not at a super top time or whatever, or good optimized time for yourself, just scrap the jail tool.
Definitely. I've also skipped the jail tool if I got like an offense +2 somewhere, because then your damage kind of equals out at least.
I know that you were doing some experimentation to see if you can kill the mixed man on the 13th floor.
Yeah, you have to get like really lucky. You have to get like the YOLO tool. You have to then pick up the jail tool. You need it, and then 1 +2 at least. It's just like, Yeah. One day it'll happen though.
And that's the complications that I was talking about. It's like there's so many things you can do in this run. That's why it's like one of my favorite speedruns, honestly. Is that like there's just so many like different scenarios you can be in, and it's just like it's like a rabbit hole of just thinking. It's really good for people that like to route.
Yep.
So pretty much we're just gonna mash here until we get the ammo, and
we're off to the day 4 dungeon, which is the St. Francis Hospital.
which you pointed out is one of your favorite locations.
Yeah, I love just take a look at like all the camera angles when we're in the hospital. I think they're really well done to make it give you like a suspenseful, eerie look to it. And of course, the music is very suspenseful, especially at the beginning, and then we get a nice jam later in it too. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, when the music kicks in, great. Also, there's a Christmas tree. It's decorated and all that. Hey guys, remember Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, we knew it was Christmas with the spontaneous human combustion in the New York City Opera House from earlier. So,
yes. Warmed me up, warmed my heart right up. Had my hot cocoa and everything.
if we're just skipping dialogue and cutscene stuff, I can jump in real quick with an announcement.
Sure.
Yeah, so chat, while we're watching this run, and I hope you're all enjoying the run, just want to let you all know that we do have merch now for GDQ Hotfix. We have a Season 4 shirt that you can buy if you go to the Yeti.com, YETEE.com/AGDQ. You can buy the Season 4 shirt, and it's got all the logos from the Season 4 shows on there. It's a really cool shirt, and it's got Koopa on it, who's our GDQ Hotfix mascot, and he's adorable. So head on over to the Yeti.com/AGDQ. You can pick up that shirt.
Awesome. The hospital here is a huge turning point in the speedrun for multiple reasons too.
Yeah, big reset point.
Big reset.
So we introduced refights on the precincts, also known as the NYPD. Now we're gonna see refights again, but there's actually 4 of them here in the hospital. So far he's one for 2, and there's 1 refight in the basement here, and then there's gonna be 3 upstairs on the main floor.
Yep.
So yeah, 4 opportunities to lose time.
Yep. And most of these fights are kind of slow too.
Yeah. The average amount of refights is pretty much 3 out of 6 total. There are refights in the museum, and also they're not technically refights, but the sewer has like 2 fights that you can get into. We just call them refights because it's kind of just like how it is. I think I'll explain it more when we get to the sewers, but how that works. But yeah, the first 6 it's kind of really big ones that we keep track of. If you get 3 out of 6, we pretty much consider that average. So if you get anything below like 3, that's pretty good.
And there's also one more surprise in the hospital. A certain chest. Wonder what that could be.
Surprise, huh? Not really sure what you're referring to here, so I'm kind of excited.
Okay, coming into the first hospital fight here. This is also the refight screen too, because we have to come back through this room here. So this is the scripted fight.
Yep. But in case you guys are wondering, it is possible to get 6 out of 6 refights, and it is possible to get 0 out of 6 refights. So you get a run that gets 0 out of 6 refights, and up to at the end of day 4, you are on a great run. Oh, you know what? And now I just remember. Now I just remember what you're referring to. Now, MC.
Oh, you just now got it.
I totally forgot about it. What you're referring? Yeah. I don't want to spoil it yet. But yeah, it does go with the RNG here in the hospital.
Well, now's the time to. Well, I guess we have the 3 refights, right? Oh no, it's coming up actually pretty soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a very, very important chest we're going to pick up soon, and it's going to contain one of 2 guns. It's going to either contain the M10 or the micro Uzi. We really want the micro Uzi, It is faster. And by the way, both guns, it's a 50-50 chance. So,
Yep. Doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't feel that way.
But yeah, we kind of feel that it really actually. It doesn't feel that way, but it really is.
Yeah. I just complain
kind of
a lot when I don't get it, you know. And so,
yeah. Well, there's stretches where I get nothing but the M10 up. So here's a refight. So we got two out of 3 refights so far. So we're not doing the greatest.
Certain fights, we can use our PE ability here. PE ability consumes your whole Parasite energy bar to do a lot of damage. On specific fights, it's worth doing because it's unfortunate. It kind of removes an enemy out of the fight immediately. This is really slow now.
Yep. Yep, and slowness is a status effect in this game. That stinks. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, that fly can shoot goo at you and slow you. And it was unfortunate because it happened because I was reloading. So that's, again, trying to minimize reloads with the reloads tech is handy. But yeah, we're coming up on the chest. Like I said, we want the micro Uzi. It's the better gun. The reason why it's better is because it has 2 empty ability slots that we can abilities to. And one of them is a really good ability. It's called Quick Shot, which gives you, I think, like an 80% chance of every battle start with full ATB, which is huge. Yeah,
I'm not sure of the odds, but you're probably right.
It's high. Most of your battles will be full ATB. Yeah. All right, what are we gonna get? We got the Uzi. Yep. Let's go. Nice. We got the good gun, guys.
We got the Uzi.
Ho ho ho! Now I got an Uzi.
It's Christmas early. So I'll let you do this minute.
Oh, I didn't equip it.
This happens to everybody. Fortunately, there is a function to equip in battle.
Of course, I knew like right away, right as I started the fight.
So what we're doing here is we did pick up a gun that gives us a rate of fire ×2. And we want to put that on the Uzi, but by waiting until after that fight, basically like the amount of bullets that come out to the mixed man, it's just better if we don't put the X2 on it yet, because it just distributes more bullets and kills it quicker. It's kind of weird how it works.
Yeah, not skipping the rate of fire upgrade for that fight actually makes it way more consistently a 2-turn fight. Unfortunately, it was like 3 turns because I had to also equip I'd use one of my turns to equip the gun, but.
Yep. And again, the reason why we're lowering the rate of fire of the gun, because like your intuition might be like, well, why do we want to lower the rate? It increases the damage output per bullet.
And it saves a bunch of ammo.
And it saves a bunch of ammo. So those are the key reasons.
Yeah, it's weird. In this game, like you would think increasing rate of fire is a good thing. But what it does is it just spreads your damage across that number of bullets. So it's really not that great. So if like, let's say you do like 100 damage total, if you had a rate of fire of 5, each bullet would do 20. But if you reduce it to like 2, each bullet would do 250 damage instead.
Yep. All right. So coming up to the mixed man fight on the, wait, no, not yet. Never mind. I'm way too ahead there. Yeah. It's because the elevator got me. Okay, so we're coming up to basically the remaining 3 refights, but we're doing the initial fights first, like the scripted fights. So can't avoid these. Just gonna go through them.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of labbing and science went into figuring out like how to raise DPS.
So these 3 fights we're doing are all scripted, but we have to go back through them all. So we're gonna potentially get up to 3 refights back to back to back, and so this is a pretty significant part of the run here. is how many refights we get.
Indeed. And the next fight that we're about to get into, that is the worst refight, in my opinion, to get into in the hospital.
Yeah, this is the worst one. Yeah, it's 4 enemies. The fly enemies have more health than the blobs. The blobs aren't too bad, but.
All right, so what MC's doing here is energy shot will target the closest enemy, so you can just like mash through it there, because that fly will always like come up right up to you and try spitting on you.
That was good.
And the best part about it is even if your ATB is bad, the green goop that it spits out, it won't hurt you if you after you've like done the damage to kill it. So you don't have to worry about dodging it and then e-shotting it unless your ATB is like 0. Then you might get it.
Yeah, so we're in this current screen. It doesn't look like you can get another fight in this screen because we're not going to be entering another screen. We're going to be leaving this screen, but you still walk over the trigger, so we can get another refight on this screen, the screen after, and that lobby. So hopefully we don't get I'm hoping for 0 or 1.
So Prage. Also, what's really annoying is if we haven't really talked about that. Your inventory can actually get filled up, and if your inventory is just filled right now, like maybe you have junk or too many meds, when she hands you this card here, it'll just say like your inventory's full, and then you have to like delete an item. Oh, you get this. This is the worst one.
Come on, game.
Oh boy.
Oh, I didn't even see him. That animation. It's probably best I just attack here. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I would just save the PE energy. Yeah, this day 4 is actually like where we start caring whether or not we're using heals versus meds, because we want to save our E-shots for future battles.
Yeah, that's one refight.
Yeah, your inventory. Yep. And
no refight. That screen is actually the easiest refight. It's only 2 enemies. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
we got
just
3 out of 4 hospital. This is really bad.
So 4 out of 6 total.
Yeah, it's bad.
So what you're saying is PB incoming.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's look at the bright side. You got the Uzi.
That's true.
So it balances out a little bit there.
Oh, come on, Aya. Oh man, the targeting is bad too.
Oh, this is the song we were talking about, by the way. Yeah, get your jams out.
But I love all the camera shot angles in the hospital. I think they're all like really well done.
This one's weird. Like, look at the way the nurses' like arms are like noodles. Like watch this. It's like a wave. I think it's because of the camera angle. Makes it look weird. Ooh, look at those jams.
This blob. Sometimes this blob can drop unnecessary armor. We don't want that. If you get really close to him, you proc his projectile, which is what you want because it's easy to dodge. So yeah, he gave us the armor that we don't want, so I made sure I didn't accept it.
Yep. And now you're down some ammo as a result, but it's not the worst thing in the world unless you're hurting for ammo.
All right.
Ammo?
Oh yeah, we're now entering the 13th floor fights. Each fight, there's 3 fights on the 13th floor. They all have an enemy called the Mixed Man, and we fought one earlier, but right before we did the upgrade with the rate of fire. But the Mixed Men are annoying because they keep spawning this stupid little ball that bounces across the room, and they can keep spawning it over time. And so we want to focus the Mixed Man body and kill it as soon as possible so that it doesn't spawn those balls. But it's up to Aya to target and kill it. But there is something we can do to help make that more feasible, and that's by doing an energy shot here. So the energy shot will put its health down to where it only needs one attack to kill it. So we need Aya to please kill the body because we don't want to see bouncing balls. Okay, she did it. Nice.
Yep. Usually he gets off one.
Yeah.
Usually, or Aya might shoot the ball while it's still attached.
Don't focus the balls.
Oh, and by the way, MC, there's a tool here, right? Yep. This is the tool I forgot to.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I was confused about. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. The intuition wasn't there, or the reflex.
3 medicine, 3 there.
So, yeah, that's optional to pick up, but it's a med 3. Med 3s are really valuable at this point.
There's a lot of medicines that I'm picking up I don't do in a real run. Okay, that was a terrible turn. She only focused the ball. That's terrible. So that was like essentially a wasted turn.
Just terrible.
Terrible. Oh, jeez. These fights can drag on.
Yes.
If Aya is just not targeting.
Yeah,
she still hasn't
the
killed
next
the body.
man makes it slow.
Come on, Aya.
Yep. And he's slow, so it's just
terrible.
Yeah, these fights can really drag out. So that's why E-Shot comes in handy, for sure.
Yeah, that fight I typically don't E-Shot because your E-Shot's kind of low. So I usually do E-Shot on the first fight and then the third fight here.
That's kind of how everybody does it, I'd say. It's the typical way to let it build up.
Come on, Aya,
to eat
kill the body.
Fresh lettuce.
Good job, Aya. Nice.
We haven't really talked about ammo a whole lot, but right here is a good spot right here to pick up ammo if you need it.
Yep.
There are different ways to check. You can check while you're in battle, while you're targeting. You can see how much ammo that you have, like your total ammo. If you just go into your regular menu, you could also see on the bottom left of the screen, or it's kind of near the center of the screen. You can just see what your ammo count as far as the gun goes, how much is loaded in there. So there's a lot of different strategies for ammo as well. Wait, did I miss that? Did the energy beam miss?
What's that?
Did the energy beam miss the next?
No, it hit. It just doesn't one shot.
Oh, got it.
All right, we're coming up on the boss of day 4. This boss is actually one of the least RNG bosses, but it has a chance to do an annoying web move first turn, which if it does and it hits you, it's really annoying. But usually it doesn't do it, and if it doesn't do it, it's pretty much a consistent boss. It's a Spider Woman. It is one of those things where the RNG can take a turn for the worse, but I feel for the most part it's not super bad. I don't really get too nervous about this fight. Yeah. I even have a cure M, so if I do get hit by the web, I can just quickly cure it.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but
all right, so we didn't get a web, which is good. Spider loves to go to the bottom right of the screen for me, at least, which makes it harder to hit. But the positioning of the spider at the end of each phase actually matters for time-wise, by the way. So he's going to dodge to the right there at the opening of phase 2, because that attack that Spider Woman does is always guaranteed to occur. So you just dodge it to the right, and then you resume battle.
And that's Spider-Woman.
Yep, and that was a great fight. Killed her in an ideal spot where she just took the least amount of time to like basically fall through the through the roof there.
So, it's funny, this segment that once we gain control of Aya, I don't know, I feel like 50% of people that play this game casually, they game over on this part. and I know I did.
Yeah.
Because the game does not tell you at all like what to do.
Yo, dude, this game casually is rough. If it's like your first time playing and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna have a rough time. But trust me, it pays off. Just figure out how tooling works, and you're good. That's the biggest thing that I think a lot of casual players struggle with, is understanding how the tooling system works. So once you understand how that works fully, it makes the game a lot more fun.
Yeah.
A lot more fun. And
so she just destroyed a jet, and it's on its way about to crash into the roof here. And so you're on a timer here, and you can tell, like, because the noise gets higher or louder and louder. But yeah, the game doesn't really tell you where to go, and you move so slow that if you don't just go to the bottom left corner here, you just game over.
And that's actually happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too, casually.
Casual playthrough. And it's just like, you just see it's like the plane fly on top of the roof, and then all of a sudden you see the game over screen. It's just like, wait, what?
Yep.
Like, excuse me?
No way. Come on, one cycle. Okay, good.
Yeah, that fight could be a little trolly.
Yeah, sometimes like he hit me with the web, but since it was a one cycle, it didn't matter. So that's good.
You know, earlier fighting that boss, I'm just looking at it like, you know, I run a lot of Doom, and seeing a giant spider with a huge brain is right in my wheelhouse. So that's perfect.
Yeah, it's
yeah, dude. Love me some Doom. Casual player of Doom here, but been playing it since like the 90s.
Same.
The mother brain. So yeah, good. Well, the refights no, but at least you got the Uzi. Yeah, we're coming to the close of day 4 here.
Yep, we're about to end day 4, so cool. If I can just go the right direction.
Probably a good time for a break then after you finish going through the end of day 4, right?
Yep.
Cool. Sounds good.
So we just have a minute of cutscene here in this office.
I think you're secretly wanting to go say hi to Wayne.
Yeah.
So that way he can give you the tip for Wayne skip later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Another skip meme. That's like way later. Yep, Super Metroid final boss, exactly. Casual Doom players unite.
All right. This game has a great way of every day that RNG gets more and more impactful. And day 5 is the most impactful day of the whole run. And we can stop timer now.
Excellent. Cool. Alrighty, folks, we're going to take another break. Before we do, I do have 2 things that I need you to do while we're on this break. Number 1, I am going to ask you, if you have not currently joined it, you need to go to the official GDQ Discord and add the hotfix role so that you can keep up with upcoming events, talk with staff like me, and more. You can use !Discord and Twitch chat for more info. And the other thing is to head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and check out the season 4 schedule. And you can can take a look at this week's runs and get a more in-depth look at what we have going on in Season 4. With that, we are going to take a quick wellness break, use the bathroom, stretch your legs, get some water, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix. Before we get back into the last little stretch of this speed run of Parasite Eve, want to let you know that GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatales 2025, will be live from March 9th to the 16th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. You can visit gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on the event. And if you're watching from YouTube, hello! You should come join us here on the GDQ Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, and see the runs live. But if you are here on Twitch and you missed any of the VODs or any of the content that we have here on Hotfix, you can check us out at youtube.com/gamesdonequick to check all of those things out. With that said, I'm ready for the last 2 days of Parasite Eve. Are y'all ready for the last 2 days of Parasite Eve?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
All righty, let's do this.
All right, I'm ready on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll go ahead and explain this here. So he's going to the warehouse right now. And the reason why he's going to the warehouse is because he picked up the Uzi. And if you get the Uzi, MC explained a little bit earlier, but you pick up the gun, like the PPK, I think it's called, which has quick draw on it, and you also pick up a tool. So essentially, that just we're pretty much adding on the quick draw. You don't do that with the M10, so you just skip straight to Chinatown.
Yep. So yeah, you invest like a minute or so going to the warehouse with the Uzi, but it pays off with all the fights that are becoming faster, because now most of our fights, we're going to have full ATB at the start of the fight, which means Aya can just start shooting immediately.
Yeah, and you might be wondering why we don't pick up the PPK or the quick draw with the M10. That's just because of the stat slots aren't there for it.
Yeah, the M10 does not have ability slots to put any abilities on. So, boom, like that. So we just got full ATB right away. And the more we get this, the faster it becomes towards the counterpart, the M10 gun. But days 1 through 4 have been on average 30-40 minutes long. This day is by far the biggest and longest day. It's like over an hour, I think.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on here. We go through Chinatown, then we go through the sewers, the subway, and then we do the museum, and then we do the boss fight at the end. There's a lot going on.
Aren't the fights from day 5 on not fixed anymore? Like, aren't they now just purely random?
Once we get to the museum, yes. And a little bit in the sewers too. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, and I said I was going to touch up on that. So the way that the sewers works is that, like, the first screen that MC is going to go to is scripted, and he's going to trigger that fight. And then the second one he goes to is scripted, and it's going to trigger that fight. But the next 2 screens that he's going to go through, actually he could skip those. Those are actually quote unquote refights. You can get into a fight, but you might not. And the reason why is, like, for whatever reason when they developed this game, it's because all the screens look the same, right? There's like 2 different types of screens that look the same, or multiple screens that look the same. The ones that he goes through, we've already been through there and did the scripted fight, so the game thinks that, like, it's a refight when it's actually not.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's weird because they copy and paste screens in the sewer layout here. So this first fight is a scripted, and this fight is really annoying.
Yeah, but not the most annoying. So what I like to do in this fight is if I get the quick draw, I like to haste at the beginning, so it helps with, like, dodging.
God, you really can't avoid Zubat, can you? Just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So getting sonar really sucks because you become blind and you don't have cure Ds yet on this fight. So, but yep. Got the offense 1. You could get a range there as well. It's either going to be an offense or
we got Lucy.
Ooh, Lucifer J Frog we call.
Wow, that's lucky. So fights. I think pretty much every fight from here on out, it has a common enemy formation and then a less common one. That's the less common, and it's better. And yes, we did not get the worst refight in the whole game right there. It's called Sewer 3 because it's the 3rd screen of the sewers. That is the worst refight in all of the whole game. It's 4 enemies, 2 of them are bats, and 2 are snakes, I think. And we also didn't get sewer 4 either, so that was a really good sewers.
So yeah, so basically in the sense of refights, he got none.
Yeah.
Just now. In the sewers. So awesome.
Yeah. If bats hit you with that sonar ability, it blinds you, and blind is insanely terrible in this game. It makes your range like 1, some very, very low value. So like, unless you're not directly on top of an enemy, you will just miss. So either you try to use an energy shot, or you just wait out the blind. It's super annoying.
Yep, but here we want to actually avoid the energy shot.
That sucks. Later. I was just a little late.
Yeah.
Let's just do this.
Yep, so he's going to pop a Cure D. Hopefully the ATB fills up in time.
It should. Yeah.
Usually it does. Yeah, sometimes I get blindsided.
I got a little greedy. I think I could have got the shot off just before the blind, but didn't work out.
Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much sewers.
Yep. So yeah, we're in the sewers here because we're trying to stop Eve from infecting the water supply, which is what she's doing right here.
Yep. Story,
yeah. The reason why we were in the hospital earlier is because that's where Eve, she's trying to she's getting semen samples to make the ultimate being, because she's gonna get herself pregnant.
Yep. That's actually
that's the story.
So that chest there either has a med 3 or an ammo. It's optional to pick up. But if you have enough med 3s, that's usually why we would pick that up. But he's got a good enough amount. You don't want the ammo though.
It's actually a question.
This game.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Action RPG. You know, it could be one of the earlier action RPGs, honestly, because it kind of is. I don't really know any other game like this other than Vagrant Story in terms of the combat, which is only similar because of like the biodome that surrounds you, you know, like when you attack. So
it's a very unique combat system for sure. Like, I don't think I've seen, I mean, it's like a interesting hybrid of real-time and turn-based combat. It's very unique.
Yeah. I would say it's like an action RPG survival horror. Almost. It's like with the inventory.
Interesting mix.
Management. Yeah, with like the bullets, and you got the guns, like a survival horror game and stuff. Like, and you're just one character. It's not like you have a party with you. So yeah, it's a very interesting mix. That's the best line in the game. You just hold up left after the door. So there's a couple chests that you can grab here. MC's gonna grab that one, which has range. There's also a med 3 on the top chest there. I would say either one's optional, but well, let's get through this fight real quick. But this is Monty the Mole.
Yep.
I hate this guy.
Darn. Not a one.
He's a quick kill, but he's annoying. But I want to add real quick, range actually matters with the Uzi because your range is not as good. The M10 has better range, so if you do get to pick up the Uzi, you're going to want to pick up range as well whenever there's an opportunity, if it's on the way. So, which there happens to be one there that you just picked up.
All right.
And here we go.
This is the boss fight.
The Centipede. All right, so starting off the fight with haste, and he's going to have to dodge some poison blobs coming down. Nice. It's okay if you get poisoned. It's just, yeah, it just makes it a little monka S. So now he just wants to shoot and dodge at this point until he splits up.
That sucks.
Usually takes about.
We're not
it's usually 3 to 4.
Here. Darn, we didn't kill in the first.
Yeah.
We didn't kill in 3 cycles. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah, so if his ATB was up when the centipede split, you can just mash after the split, and then Aya will just target one of the body pieces and kill it if done successfully, and then you just E-shot like the other.
This is so bad.
Center body piece. So you ideally want to, as a result, you kind of get rid of the 2 middle body pieces, and it leaves the head and the tail. The head and the tail actually are the stronger parts that take more HP to kill.
This is insanely unlucky a fight. Holy moly. This is like really bad.
Hopefully we don't get a crit.
Yeah.
Or they don't get a crit.
We can die to a crit here. Jeez, this is so unlucky.
Yeah, this is some bad RNG
terrible.
going on here.
There's the 84.
Yeah.
Wow, finally. Wow.
Yeah, we like to blame Aya on things quite a lot, especially right now. Her performance is just abominable.
Wow.
Come on, Aya.
That was probably the worst fight I've had since I came back this fight, honestly. That was so bad.
Yeah, that's just bad RNG, I'd say. So what MC just did there is he put on the ice onto the Uzi, which the museum has enemies that are weak against ice. So that's why we do that. Specifically the Trudons, you can kind of just bulldoze through.
Okay, hopefully I don't power off the PSTV here. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what Dangerous was talking about.
For some reason, they just randomly put the disc change like right when you leave that screen. There's no cutscene or anything like you typically have in most games. Just okay, disc change.
Because they just quite couldn't fit enough megabytes on that first one.
I guess
just
not,
right to capacity.
Yeah, and fun fact, the PSP version is technically the fastest version only because the disc change screen is like maybe 1 or 2 seconds quicker, something like that. It's very, very negligible, so everybody just runs on PSTV instead. Just because it's easier, and I've never ran PSP version, but I've heard it's like annoying because you have to actually use like the PSP like console itself to control it.
Yeah, and then you probably have to get like all the TV hookup components for it as well, which are also annoying to track down, like compared to like PSTV, which is like HDMI. So,
this game is if you play it non-turbo, it's actually a very bad game in terms of like having bathroom breaks, you know. So you kind of have to go through the whole run. And and since you mentioned the PSP, I heard of a story that somebody had like really, really long cables, so they were able to like go to the bathroom with the PSP.
that's pretty legit.
But yeah, best part about PSTV when it comes to the brakes, even if you're not doing turbo, like you're using your PS3 controller, so
that's true.
You're not tethered to anything, so yeah, use your imagination.
Okay, we're gonna haste here. There's also the drawback to haste is that you take extra damage though, so you gotta keep that in mind. That was unfortunate.
Absolutely.
Wow, jeez.
Yep.
I'm in a bad spot, I guess.
Yeah, that is the trade-off for using haste. There's always a downside.
Yep. So every fight in the museum has a common formation and an uncommon formation. This is an uncommon, and this is a good formation.
Especially having the Uzi here with the ice.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a quick draw, but this is good because these raptors give you a good experience. So the museum has a total of 6 refight screens. However, what's interesting about the museum is that we actually need 1 or 2 refights for experience because we need to leave the museum level 33. At level 33, you learn a very, very OP ability called Liberate. So we're hoping that we get 1, maybe 2 refights.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? It's like this is the one part of the run where we're hoping for it.
Yep.
To an extent, we don't want every single one. But yeah.
Yep. So museum is the biggest
likes those
dungeon.
green
A
guys.
lot of fights. Lots of fights.
Easy to get lost.
And some enemy formations give you more experience. Some give you less. So it all plays into how many refights you need exactly, because it depends on which enemies you ultimately kill too.
Yep. Yeah, so I call these guys roly-polies,
me too.
although they're armadillos technically.
Oh, are they?
But man, they look, yeah. But yeah, I always just call them roly-polies because it's just more fun
it
that
is.
way.
They're weak against ice, so that's a neat. So the other benefit to the Uzi, and this is a refight screen, so we did not get a refight. That's good. Good start to the museum.
Yeah, and that's a bad refight unless you get the true.
Oh, yeah.
Because
The little green
they
little
give you-
dinosaurs are bad because they don't give you a lot of experience.
right, and then the Troodons, which are the blue ones, do give you good experience, and they're weak against ice.
Yeah.
So it's just like a double whammy.
But yeah, the ice shot is only possible with the Uzi as well. And there's a few enemies that are weak to ice, and the roly-polies are one of them. This can be one or two raptors. Oh, we got two raptors. Two raptors could be a good thing,
Good thing for experience points.
depending on
yeah.
how the refights go. So it's not terrible. That was good actually. That was a good fight. That was still a 2-turn fight.
That's good too. Yep, very good. Yeah, heal 3 comes in handy in the
Yeah.
museum.
I like to do heal 3s early in the museum until I get enough medicines kind of stacked. No quick draw.
This is good. You want the Troodon because the other one.
Yeah, it's true. This could
I
be
feel like-
2 roly-polies, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this museum's looking good.
So far. All right. Did you explain that they drop drunk?
Explain what?
That they drop junk?
Yeah.
Okay.
The green. Oh, the green raptors. Yeah, the green little dinosaurs. Yeah, they also drop junk, so that's makes them even more useless.
Yeah. Fun fact: they're actually chameleons.
Oh, chameleons.
Yep. But we actually have a much better name for them, but it's yeah. Well, we're not gonna say it.
Yeah,
Oh, you're skipping the metaphor.
that's fine. I always skip that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. This fight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
This fight, we want the common formation, which is a single pterodactyl. That's great. This can be a nasty other formation.
nasty is the right word.
Because this screen is big, and you can get what is it? 3 green chameleons and a roly-poly, I think it is.
Pterodactyl. It's 3 chameleons and a Terry.
Oh, nice.
Okay, this
We're
is
getting a
good.
lot of experience.
A legal name. Yeah, we don't like them.
Yeah, this museum's going really well so far. If you were to have any day to go really well in this run, it's day 5, particularly the museum. You know, it's it can make up for a lot of bad days. You know.
A good museum definitely feels good. Like you just like you feel like you're on a sprint. You feel the wind in your hair. It's great.
And yeah, this museum is like a maze, so it does take a little bit of practice, but it gets natural as to which screens you go to. It's not too bad. But I remember when I was first learning this game, I had to really watch where I was going. Oh, pterodactyls are generally a good enemy and pretty easy, but they do have an ability where they can blind you. If they shoot like a pink laser at you, it's their blind ability. But it's easy to dodge, but sometimes you can get caught by it if you're reloading or something.
Yeah, and for that reason, like a lot of runners like to keep at least one Cure D in their inventory after the sewers, just in case. I don't know if MC does that though.
Yeah, I do for that bat on the one that I got. Oh my gosh, that's annoying.
Gotcha. So, MC E-shotted the Scorpion first, just because it's got a lot of HP. You don't always get the Scorpion in this fight, and what's fun about this fight is that this is actually the first fight in Museum where you can just E-shot a pterodactyl in one hit. Also a Troodon in one hit. So if you knew that and you were wondering why he shot the Scorpion, it's just because it's got higher HP and just gets it down quicker. And it's a lot more annoying to fight.
Ooh, nice, we got 2. Sometimes you can get 3 millions.
Yep.
This is pretty good. I feel like every fight has been the optimal enemy formation. There's a hidden tool here. I can open up chest.
It's very hidden today. So well, we didn't talk about it. There's some chests actually that you can get a super tool instead of tools, which actually what that does is that will remove a stat or change stats without destroying the weapon or the armor.
This screen is annoying because it's big. Big screens are not good because it allows the enemies to spread out.
I actually want to point out a strat that I don't see anybody else use, but I've seen MC use, and he likes to haste here because you have to wait for them to come to you. Anyways.
Yeah, I do that with the Uzi if I have quick draw. If not, then I just let them.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
Oh, this is annoying. This is a little risky. Yeah, I should have. Yeah. I think I hit this one right, so it should die.
I personally go for the pterodactyl so I don't get blind.
Yeah, I just like to hit whatever's to the right. Oh no!
Oh,
and I'm blinded.
Speaking of, yeah. So yeah, he's still hitting them, but okay. At least you got Terry.
Yeah, that was not a good fight.
E-shot my E-Scorpion.
Oh man, inputs today. Okay, I like to use medicines here because we need to have some inventory space coming up because we're picking up 3 items in this room. And it's actually easy to like have your inventory full.
Oh yeah, because you just get filled up on meds when you match through like the end of the fights. But pterodactyls like always drop like a med.
There's a hidden elevator here.
Yep. This is a fun
little in the corner. Room. So going on the 4th floor here gives you another tool and a gun.
And unlike FF7, this game doesn't have one of those functions where you press select and you can see like all the ways you can go where your character is.
Where it shows all the cursors.
Yep. So
this, I'm
wondering.
I don't think I doubt I saw this in my casual play.
So I had the strategy guide for this growing up, so I'm pretty sure about
nice.
that. Yeah.
Man, I got so lost in the museum. I was getting fed up because it felt like I was just going in circles and circles. And it finally
shout outs to pre-med game guides back in the day.
Yeah, oh, exactly. Gotta love them. I actually still have my FF7 guide from when I was a kid. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like falling apart kind of in the back, but I still got it.
You can probably guess what kind of enemy we're going to eventually fight from this scene.
I have a guess.
We are in a museum of dinosaurs. So we said earlier that this game is like what, Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII. Now it's kind of dipping into Dino Crisis a little bit.
A little bit,
yeah.
They just love their Capcom games right now.
Yep. Okay, we got two refight screens coming up. We really don't want a refight screen, particularly on this screen here, because it's so big. Big screens are bad.
Yeah,
nice.
This is a bad refight.
No refight, good.
Nice.
The next refight is also not ideal because it's low experience. But it's not.
You generally don't want these two
nice.
refights. And here we're coming up to Clamp's office. One of my favorite breaks in the game.
Yep.
See, this is a good place for a break. Right after a long museum like that. Don't worry, it's just Maeda. He's here to do more science. That was another thing that we did when we were, like, as a group routing this game. There was like, we called it like science, and we did a lot of science and all that, and we had a Discord and everything, and just it was a lot of fun, man. Like routing this game like with the boys, good times.
Yeah, I wish I was part of. I wish I was part of a speed run where I like had a lot to contribute to routing, but I always, every time I got into a speed run, the route was already kind of fully perfected. Usually I'm able to add like one or two little things here and there, but that's about it. This game, I don't think I added anything.
No, I mean, I think that you added in like, just like little tidbits here and there of like insights and things like that.
Yeah, little things.
Like the haste thing, like I mentioned, like I never thought about that hasting on that fight, like to say, just to kill some time.
Yeah.
And I remember you were labbing some stuff too. Well, you were also labbing the whole, is the jail tool worth it sort of thing. So, but that a lot of the routing in this game fails. Like our experiments fail, and so when you do find something, it's great. Like for instance, something that was recently found, actually, I believe it was within this year, was the Triceratops fight. We used to just e-shot it like right at the beginning and then just spam. But I forgot who it was, but it was discovered that if you just like do 4 shots with the Uzi or whatever and then e-shot it, he's on fire!
He's on fire!
He's on fire! Yeah, if you do like the 4 to 5 shots with the Uzi and then e-shot, it like manipulates the Triceratops from just going berserk with like his charges, doing massive damage. So he just walks around slowly for those first 4 to 5 shots, and then you do the e-shot, get rid of his plate, and then now he's like,
yeah. I think by hasting at the beginning of the battle, it's just more efficient damage wise, because if you e-shot the start, you can't haste until like another turn or two. This is a refight. We haven't had a single refight in the museum. One thing interesting about the museum is that it can be a blessing to not have refights, but it can also hurt you if you don't get any refights. Because like I said, we have to be level 33.
Yep. I remember a particular run on your DRS where you get trolled.
Oh, come on, Aya.
Actually, yeah, I see. I'm looking at chat here. I see Chrysler. Yeah, the Chrysler building. Yeah, there's squirrels in there. Yeah, I've played through a Chrysler building. That's actually the true ending that you do through New Game Plus. All right, but we're at Triceratops boss battle. Triceratops is weak against the ice, so it's gonna be the Uzi here.
Yeah, we got back-to-back boss fights here, starting with the Triceratops here.
Yeah, that's kind of like a... I wonder if you can even argue if this is like the beginning of the boss rush if you removed all the cutscenes.
Yeah,
but
there's
I guess
one
there
fight
is
though,
like...
but yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
So you can see he's like starting to like charge and stuff. It just gets wackier and wackier. So you want to e-shot him here to get rid of his plate, and it pretty much makes him super weak at this point. And now you just kind of wipe him with the floor here.
If you can stand in a specific spot to dodge that lightning. What are you doing? Okay, whatever. Wasn't the greatest fight, but wasn't too bad.
It's the Triceratops fight. Now we got the T-Rex, which has some weird hitboxes.
Yeah.
I always love that. I get given a big hug. Yeah, true ending is if so once you beat the game regularly, you unlock X Game, which is basically New Game Plus, and then you have access to the Chrysler Building in New Game Plus. And when you get to the very top, you get to you get the true ending, and you actually fight like the real Eve. It's like the true. Yeah.
This is also the last fight where we use the submachine gun. Because after we get a weapon drop from this guy, and it's gonna be our end game weapon.
So while we're watching this fight, out of curiosity, so the true ending, like, I assume that carries over into Parasite Eve 2, where there's like a canonical through line from one game to the other.
To be honest with you, I'm not familiar enough with PE2.
Fair enough.
Oh gosh.
Man, I got in such a weird spot. That was so dumb. I got blocked and I couldn't get out of the fire range.
So yeah, he just ended up using a revive there, which is a little monk-ass, but he's got a second revive, so...
The fire is like very unforgiving. If you are just caught it just chain hits you so many times.
Okay, at least you got the proc. That was making me nervous. Because he could one-shot you easily with that HP. Alright. Yeah, we don't want to... Yeah, that... Okay, alright. Let's go. Yeah, T-Rex fight could be pretty scary.
Oh my gosh. We need 3,000 experience. So
1,000?
3,000, yeah. So
3,000.
yeah,
Oh dang.
we need some refights. We actually want refights now, guys.
Yep. So there's 2 chances for refights coming up right here. Give them to me.
No refight.
Oh.
We got 0 for 5. Oh man.
Boy.
No refight. Wow.
Oh.
Okay, there is a backup to this, but it's slow. Like, oh man, I can't believe this is happening, dude. So we can force this scorpion fight. If you just run up the stairs, you don't get this fight. But now we have a new gun. We have a pistol, and it's got burst too, which is nice. I shouldn't have accepted that. Oops. So
the damage.
The backup is to do that fight and then go in this room and do this fight. And we got
So you
2
need
roly-polies. This
3,000.
might still not be enough.
Truly, this is a marathon run. You get all the fights when you don't want them, and you don't get them when you do want them.
Easily.
But this is a revive, right?
Yep.
Okay. Since I'm in here, I might as well grab it, right? You know.
Yeah, why not? You're right
So
there.
now we have enough experience. We don't want to refight here. Okay, good. So that was not too bad. It worked out pretty well, actually.
Yeah, not too bad. Could have been worse. I've seen it worse.
I was in a situation once where I was keep running in and out of a room because I needed a refight, and like it just wouldn't give me a refight. I'm like constantly going in and out trying to trigger a fight, and just nope. The game's like, nah.
Yeah. So, one of those weird situations where it's just like, yeah, the tables turn.
But what I had to do there is honestly not that bad. I mean, it's still like a better than average museum.
And not bad.
Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, look at that spray damage.
Oh, there's a 1 hit. Darn. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so now we got level 33 from that last fight. We are ready to go. And we have like 10, 11 minutes of cutscene, guys. So what do you all want to talk about?
Grab a snack, make some
Yeah.
popcorn,
I'm just going to be doing this
paint a
for
picture.
literally 11 minutes. This is a wonderful
That's
turbo
great.
break, though. If you're running turbo, this is like you can go like shower, make a sandwich,
Absolutely.
Do your taxes.
do your taxes, file a 1040
Yeah, you can.
easy form.
Yep.
So, out of curiosity, because this came up earlier, a lot of people were talking about doing remakes of games, and like, if you were to say remake this game exactly as is, but you added in a cutscene skip where you just like hold a button and skip the cutscenes, how short would this run be?
I've actually wondered that because before I was de-rusting this game, I was playing Final Fantasy IX cutscene remover. And for that game, it knocks off 4 hours off the run, so it halves it.
Oh, wow.
This game, I think it would take off more than half the run. I think it would be less than an hour of a run.
Oh, geez.
I'm not sure how long it is, but I know that there was a runner that experimented with he discovered if you use like the emulator with like the Game Shark emulator, you can go into like the dev room and you can actually do a playthrough with no cutscenes. You can just skip them all. So it's actually possible on emulator.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a Game Shark with the PlayStation, but I'm not really entirely sure how it would be. But yeah, definitely knock off at least an hour. I feel there's a lot.
That is a monster.
Yeah.
This is now. So we
Oh
said
my
this
God.
was like Resident Evil, Final Fantasy VII, Dino Crisis. Now it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Stay puft.
No, it's not at the museum, obviously.
Night at the museum, but scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, rated R version.
Yep. No Ben Stiller though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fun, very fun speed run. You know, I think this is an excellent speed run to learn if you want to. Just if you're wanting to start getting into JRPG speedruns, because it's pretty short, it's pretty straightforward. You can do a run, finish it by following the notes. The notes are great.
Oh yeah. Anybody that's going into this speedrun should definitely look at Primus's guide. It's been updated a lot, so there's a lot. I think it's very current, and it's from like all the stuff that we did, and yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just a great place to start and then go from there.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to get into the run.
And like you said earlier, like for a JRPG, it's pretty short because like wanting to learn one of the Final Fantasies is a whole different proposition.
Yep. Yeah, I run FF7, FF9 on original PS1 disc, and yeah, FF7 is about 7 hours. FF9 is almost 9 hours. It's nice when you come from one of those to a 2.5 hour run. It's like, oh, hey, cool. This is easy.
I remember at one point in time, it was like FF4 was 4 hours, FF5 was 5 hours, FF6 was 6 hours. And it was like, it was weird how that worked. That's obviously not the case anymore, but it was kind of weird how that worked out for over time.
It was like that.
Yeah, FF7 now like a 5.5 hour run, any percent.
Yeah, there's a new skip.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
This one skip.
Ocean Fly.
There's got to be a way to break this game. This game is pretty solid, like coded wise. There's nothing we can do to skip, you know.
I love how that's just like right where your brain went. We got to figure out a way to break it. I agree though. Like, yeah, it's kind of sad that the only skips that we have are just like petty skips.
Yeah.
And you know, if you get this like the ability to skip cutscenes and the run ends up being under an hour, like you said, you could get this run on Express Lane.
Yeah.
I think the devs knew what they were doing when they said cinematic RPG. They knew ahead of time that, you know, that they were like, hey, speedrunners aren't going to crack anything here. They got to watch the cutscenes.
Yeah. The game on the back of the case does say like a cinematic masterpiece or something like that. They really wanted to emphasize like a cinematic feel to this game. That's why there's a lot of FMVs.
Yep, absolutely. I love FF8 as well. The boys. At first I didn't like it as much as 7, but it grew on me. I like 8.
Yep. So we have a lot of cutscene here. We're watching kind of the army. They're trying to destroy Eve and the blob monster that she's kind of created. But at any time anyone gets near it, they just combust and blow up. So now they're discussing, hey, you're a police officer. You definitely know how to fly a helicopter. Let's have you fly a helicopter into the blob because you won't combust because she's got special mitochondria.
Yep.
And so that's all I get. Let's send her in there.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, but hey, video games.
Aya can do everything.
Yeah.
She can also
video game magic.
On day one, she can fall through a whole story while wearing heels and not break an ankle somehow.
Right?
Okay, so she's piloting a helicopter here. She's not wearing her seatbelt.
Don't say that out loud.
Yeah, it could be on autopilot.
Yeah, maybe. Look at this. Look at this, like, action hero stuff going on here.
Okay, those helicopters are going way too fast. I never really noticed it. They're going way too, like, that's not how they work.
Yeah. It's crazy. Really. Wow. Yeah, you gotta hand it to him. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man right there.
Yep.
It's goo time.
Yep, this is the, we're gonna be fighting Eve one more time. And it'll be the final fight with Eve to cap off day 5.
Yep, so yeah, we're kind of getting to the final boss rush of the game, and we gotta fight, the 2 phases of U4, and then day 6 on the boat with the ultimate being. So yeah, we're kind of coming to the home stretch here.
Yep. As you probably saw earlier, after the dinosaur fight, as I said, the dinosaur fight is the T-Rex fight specifically is the last fight with the submachine gun. So now we have a very upgraded pistol. We actually upgraded an ability called Burst, and you probably saw it in that last couple fights. It does splash damage now, and it's very, very important that we have that, not only to make the fights in the rest of the museum faster, but for this upcoming boss, because this next Eve boss has 3 targets, and so every time we shoot her, we shoot all 3 at once, and it does a crazy amount of total damage.
And I've actually seen runs get there before without it, just to kind of see how it goes. And yeah, it's not pretty.
Probably terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. It takes longer than you want it to.
Doom, doom, doom.
So whenever I see this cutscene, I know it's time to do the save skip. Boom, right there.
Actually, I can never remember exactly how many. I think it's 3 text boxes, and then you want to hit down X or circle. I don't know.
Yeah. After the 3rd one, you just hit down.
Yeah.
Down X. And yeah, the Eve cutscene where she comes out of the goo. That's like when my brain knows. Okay, it's coming.
So 10 minutes of just cutscene is finally over.
Yeah. It's finally over.
Telling you, I just knows how to do everything. Okay,
she's really good. They picked the right person for the job.
Yep. So as I said, every bullet we shoot is gonna hit all 3 of her targets, which are all they're all clumped up. So, the strat here that I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to run behind her. If you're behind her, it procs her to do a projectile attack, which is better than her trying to grab you. We want to avoid her grabbing you. If she grabs you, it's time loss, and it does quite a bit of damage too.
Yeah. So yeah, the back strat, that's something I've actually never learned. I consider that a more technical, higher tier strat to use. The only person besides you, MC, that I am aware that uses that strat was Crazy.
Yeah, that's who told me about it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, so by the way, this gun also lets us do 2 things at once. So we can cast a spell and shoot in one turn, which is really nice. So I'm gonna haste, run behind her, see how we're doing damage to all 3 targets.
Yep, that stacks for sure.
Okay, avoided that grab there. That grab is annoying. Oh, she's grabbing though. Dang. Wasn't expecting her to do it right away.
It happens, but yeah, when it does happen, it's like punishment.
Yeah, it's super annoying. That barely got full damage. Yeah, she's dead.
Nice.
All right, second form. We hope to do it in 2 turns. Yep. We want to see 1 crit. If we get 1 crit, then on turn 2 we can attack and then do our liberate. And you'll see why we wanted to make sure we were level 33. It's because liberate is insanely good. It's like one of the most overpowered spells in the game.
Yep, this is the payoff, because phase 2, she's just all over the place. She can slow you, and she does this attack called Valkyrie, where she goes up in the air and throws this epic anime spear at you. And it takes up a lot of time.
No crit.
For the animation. So if you just do the liberate,
crit
doesn't really
no crit. So it's gonna take an extra turn.
Yeah. So
unlucky. But yeah, this is basically Omni Slash, Parasite Eve.
Yeah. Yep. The final limit.
Cool
We also
looking
use
attack at
Liberate
least.
again on another boss, so it's not just this boss, but so we have to hit her one more time. Oh gosh, he's being super annoying. There we go. Of course, I had crits there though, twice in a row.
Yep. Oh, you gotta love
Yeah.
that. The crit when it doesn't matter.
Oh, you wanted a crit, huh? You didn't say when.
Yeah, it's true. All right.
It's not gonna be a very crit Smiths after all.
I hate that I didn't think of that first.
Well, we still have some chances.
All right. So Eve is finally dead. Things are good. But it's not over
Hi,
yet,
Eve.
guys. Because she gave birth to the ultimate being, which is what we're going to have to deal with next.
Before becoming the Wicked Witch of the West, apparently.
Yep. And that's day 5. The longest day. It's like over an hour long.
Yep.
I was going to say, we went to break a while ago and we're just now getting out of this day. Sheesh.
Yeah. Remember how when we first said it was long? Yeah.
Well, I believed you. I just didn't have context for it, but man, that was long.
Oh, no. Yeah. Just like it was so long ago, right?
Yeah. But then the trade-off is day 6 is like super short.
Yep.
Which is weird because every day is exactly 24 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This is MC's favorite skip in the game.
Talking to Wayne here is annoying because he'll like ask you if you want to like rename your weapons and stuff, which is like such a waste of time. So making sure you exit this menu nicely is really nice. Like that, nice.
Very nice. It's actually impressive because that menu is just it screws you up if you mess it up. Like
I don't know why he asks like, do you want to rename weapons? It's really weird. All right, this is the I love the chat emotes because they know what's coming up.
baby rage.
We're seeing the baby rage.
A little preemptive.
A little preemptive, yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna see anything totally horrible like a baby transforming like we saw earlier, right?
No. Nothing like that.
No.
Okay, good. I was worried that we were gonna see a baby turn into a horrible monster, but as long as that's not happening, then we'll be okay.
Yeah. And we're definitely not going to shoot the baby either. Right, guys?
Well, I mean, if there's no baby that becomes a horrible monster, then there's no reason to shoot the baby because there isn't one, so.
Exactly.
Okay, I feel like I got lied to just now.
Baby rage. Baby rage.
Get your baby rages out.
I love the wing baby rage because he's a flying baby.
It was a great discovery, Parasite Eve fans. Ooh, the eye emote.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that eye emote.
It almost looks like going back and forth between Eve and Aya, but not. But yeah, cutscene city. 10, 11 minutes of cutscenes, then the Eve fight, and then now a bunch more cutscenes. But we're in
Yeah, now we're starting.
It's the last one. It's the last cutscene here.
So these fights, this first fight is just haste and shoot. Haste and shoot. It's pretty quick.
There's actually a strategy here, though,
yeah.
because like if he so if he falls to the ground, he can do like this AOE attack that completely drains your experience points and makes you pop a med 4. So the strategy is just basically getting up in his grill. You just want to kind of have Aya's shadow be touching the baby's shadow, essentially. And so what that does is it negates the damage if he decides to drop to the ground and do that attack. So that's about it.
All there is that fight.
Yep.
This next fight, this next fight is an interesting fight. It's 2 targets, and they're connected at first, so we'll be hitting both targets. And then when they separate, we need to kill the target that's on the ground, and we cast Liberate. And we need Liberate to hit the ground target 4 times to kill it.
Yep. And there's actually a YOLO strat where you could just use Liberate right from the beginning, but it's very painful if you don't get it. Because when they split, it resets their HP.
Okay, we want 4 hits on the lower. Nice. That's 1, 2. 3. This is almost perfect. Okay, we got our 4 hits. Nice. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
We got the 7-0.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super fast.
That's what I call good RNG.
Yeah. I've had the opposite happen where all 7 hits hit the flying part, and it just, Because the ground unit's actually pretty strong, too. It's actually a pretty scary fight if it has a lot of health left over after Liberate. This fight here, this is UV3. This is probably the scariest of the UV fights. You do a lot of damage.
Absolutely.
There's kind of 2 ways you can do this fight. You can do haste strats, or you can just wait until Liberate.
The optimal way is to do haste strats, but if you don't have any revives, then you're better off just doing Liberate. Because, like MC said, haste makes you take more damage, and you don't have any revives, you get an over crit, it's game over. It's like dying to save for Sephiroth for this game.
Oh,
so you
that's
can see
so annoying.
we're doing haste strats here, which is faster. He's got 2 revives, so there's really no reason not to. There's a lot of RNG involved here with just like where he's gonna end up, but you ideally just want to be as close to him as possible. And
Yeah, we got him pretty much. He should be dead soon. Yep, dead.
Yep. But yeah, this fight, it's very easy to get over crit. Very, very easy. Yep, you can use Liberate on that phase. That's kind of like the beginner / safe strat.
Yeah.
Cautious strat.
The haste does more DPS. You're just and haste gives you that. Haste gives you a speed, also like movement speed bonus in battle, which is actually really nice for running towards him and getting him in range.
Yep, and this is the only time in the whole run where you actually go into your menu to equip a weapon. Oh wait, is this?
Oh, it's a 1 cycle. Nice.
Got the 1 cycle. So yeah, you get a 1 cycle there, which you did, which pretty much relies on just getting crits for 2 damage value.
Yeah. So that fight, all your attacks deal 1 damage. The fight is over when you've hit him a certain number of times. So we equip that machine gun because it has a big rate of fire. I don't remember what it is. It's like 7 hits more. But yeah, it just speeds up the fight immensely.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't. It's funny. I don't know either. But yeah. And boom.
He's on fire. He jumped from a helicopter in midair, caught on fire, and still was able to throw a clip. This clip has like special bullets in it that the monster is weak to.
That is like the greatest cutscene ever.
And then here, all bolts are going to do max damage. We just have to hit them 8 times, and then the final sequence.
Yep. The one thing you have to really worry about is if you don't have any revives and you ran out of meds, then you could really be scared here. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. And yeah, it's everybody's favorite time.
It's everybody's favorite.
And what time is that?
It is Peepo Run time, everybody.
Peepo Run. Doesn't he kind of remind you of like Quetzalcoatl from FF8
Yeah, a little bit.
in this form?
Yeah,
I've always
it does.
thought that.
Yeah. All right, this is the chase sequence. We have to run away. The UV ultimate being is chasing us. We have to run away from it. If we accidentally backtrack into a room, a previous room, the run's dead. You die.
Oh, you didn't safety save.
Oh, and if you try to safety save there, you die. I don't know why they did that, man. That's just cruel. But yeah, if you,
I think that the devs just literally were like, all right, let's troll the player as much as possible.
Yep.
I think you were gonna say that if you die, it starts you right back at the beginning of the fight again.
I don't think so.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's just GG.
No, but that's actually. No, like yeah. So like that's what's so trolly about this is that if like you do die here, it sends you all the way back to your last save, and you have to do all the fights again. So as a casual player, it's really bad. And I think everybody knows that who plays.
Yeah, because you don't know which way to go. Like you just don't know what they were thinking, but. And if you accidentally go back into a room that you previously came out of, yeah, you just lose. UV catches you and you're dead.
Also, if you don't go to that control panel and turn the alarm on, you get a nice surprise at the end and a game over.
Oh, what happens? I actually don't know.
So the very final room, the ultimate being just picks up speed tremendously and just catches up to you.
Interesting.
It's impossible to cross the finish line.
All right.
Yeah. So just to add to the
time is
trolliness.
coming up when I leave the next screen. So
Trolliness.
coming up. And time.
GG's. Let's go.
All right. Nice job, MC. Let's go.
It's over.
A 240.
240, not bad.
Yeah, high 240. 240.55.
Cool. Underestimate.
Very nice.
That's good. Didn't die. I did have some silly mistakes here and there. Didn't have the greatest RNG at the beginning, but yeah, we got through it. And I love that the game ends with this line, this one line of dialogue. It summarizes it perfectly. Daniel says, it's finally over. And that's that, guys. That is Parasite Eve.
The greatest ending to all speedruns.
GG's.
So,
yeah,
great job, man.
Do you have any shout outs you want to give? Any plugs you want to throw in there before we wrap things up today?
Sure. You guys can catch me on Twitch. I stream pretty regularly. I will be streaming more Parasite Eve because I'm kind of de-rusted and I'm going to go for PB attempts, but I'm also going to eventually segue back into FF9 and FF7 speedruns. So that's morningcraft _ is my Twitch handle. And Showtime is an excellent speedrunner too. You can catch him speedrunning a lot of various horror games. I don't Showtime or Dill want to say anything?
Yeah. So, first of all, I just want to thank Morningcraft for inviting me on here. It was a nice surprise when you asked me, and I was super excited because this is like one of my favorite speedrun games of all time, and like video games of all time, and just have a lot of knowledge about it. So I was really happy to get the opportunity to come on here and share my knowledge with everybody and be a part of this awesome event. _ Bros Unite.
Yep.
And I'm not really much on social media other than like Twitch, so you can catch me at Showtime _ on Twitch, where I do speedruns of all varieties. So
yep. Yeah, thanks again, Dane, for for the opportunity to run this game.
Absolutely, yeah. I knew we weren't going to let Christmas time come and go without having Parasite Eve on at least one hotfix show, and I'm glad I managed to clinch it before anyone else did. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking of like what to do with Parasite Eve this year. So yeah, this is absolutely a perfect opportunity.
Perfect. It all lined up. It all clicked together. So, but yeah, thank you to the three of you again for coming on to the show and showing it off, folks. All good things must come to an end, and so should it that tonight's episode of Crosshair must also come to an end. But GDQ Hotfix, which is also a good thing, is not at an end yet, because after this is Speedruns from the Crypt, so stay tuned for some spoopy speedruns, even spoopier than Parasite Eve. And yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Crosshair. That will actually be New Year's Day. So today is the last episode of 2024, or last episode of Crosshair, excuse me, of 2024. But yeah, we'll be back New Year's Day, and we've got something fun planned for New Year's Day. So be sure to come back then. With that said, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, you'll see Speedruns from the Crypt. And as always, folks, no matter what your dreams, goals, or hopes are in this world, always keep them in your crosshair. See you next time.